touchdown, 49ers! Jawad Jennings makes the grab in the end zone. Jones takes the snap, under pressure, time running out. He runs left side, he throws, complete, wide open, and into the end zone for the score! Touchdown, 49ers! Mac Jones, diagnosing his options, looked right, then looked left, and then finds Luke Farrell for the touchdown.
Ready, set, win big. When the 49ers win, you score. With 49% off any large pizza, only at Mountain Mike's Pizza. Celebrate every game day with your favorites from our legendary crispy, curly pepperoni, bold sauced up wings, garlic butter drenched sides, and gooey sweet desserts, all hot, fresh, and built for a Niners victory. Download the Mountain Mike's app, join Mountain Rewards, and turn every Niners win into a pizza party. Let's go Niners! Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
1 in 10 people age 50 and older in the U.S. have early age-related macular degeneration.
Early detection and treatment are the best tools to save your vision.
Take control of your eyesight.
Go to stopamd.org to learn more.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom!
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he.
You know how they're building that thing downstairs for all. I know. I said, I don't mind sharing this. I said the same thing because, you know, he's a buddy. But like, he was like, hey man, the thing's almost done. I'm like, why are you building this? Who's using it? Like, what, you know, all of a sudden, it's this, basically, so you understand, it's like this area where we're supposed to be able to go in and there's like video and audio and everything's set up. We do like podcasts and quick video hits and all that. It's like, we've kind of had this before and we get like 3, like, you know. So I said to him, I said, look, dude, you really want this space to be used, right? You really want, because they're putting a lot into this, you know, instead of, you know, this, they're putting a lot into that, which God bless them. Good morning. And I said, dude, here's what you do. You want a lot of use out of this? Make that the morning show studios. Give us our dedicated. I feel like we reached that point because that happens at other stations where like a show will get their own dedicated space. Where
it does?
Yeah.
Name 3.
Armstrong and Getty, Howard Stern, and a third.
Okay.
To be named later.
Good job.
I mean, they're all, you know, those are pretty big shows, but we can decorate it our own way. It can have a different look. You know, nobody's got a mess. I mean, really, the only reason I just want it so we can look a little different and also nobody touches our stuff. I don't know. It's the first time the conversation's ever actually been responded to with like, well, what would you actually, so what would you, and it's like, oh, I'm getting a response out of this. Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but he did say, though, that I wouldn't be able to play stuff out of the computer anymore. So that was a little, you know, something. So anyways, that's happening. For those of you tuning in, good morning and thank you and welcome in. Ooh, look at it. Our YouTube is, whoever left this on yesterday, it's smooth jazz in the living room and rainy city night ambiance.
That's good AI.
For study and focus. Let me turn this down. I wonder what the sound. That's the sound? No. You can turn it up.
Well, yeah, but you also have the stream up, so it was playing both, I think.
I don't think so. That's soothing.
It is.
I like that. It's a picture of a cityscape in a apartment or house with a fire burning and a library with couches and leather-bound furniture.
A library, but it looks like the bed is above. Look where the ladder leads.
Oh, like a loft maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome into Sactown Sports on a very special episode, Jason. I don't even know if you know this yet. Today's a very special episode. I'm calling it a special episode.
Okay.
Today, the watchword of the show is clarity. Today, friends, Kings fans, longtime suffering, loyal, wonderful Kings.
Exploring someplace.
Well, then a commercial pops up with a duck, swan, goose.
Wait, they have ads embedded into these things now?
Okay, that's terrible, dude, because you're sitting there, maybe, I would imagine you're either sitting there with a pipe, a cigar, maybe a glass of brandy, whatever those, they do, or, even worse, you're having a romantic evening.
But, I mean, it was Talking Bird. That was pretty cool.
That's actually pretty, yeah, but I just wonder if you're in a special moment, and all of a sudden, hey, everybody, Travelocity.com.
Do you think the people running this specific YouTube know that it's just people who have left YouTube on autoplay?
I don't think they care. As a matter of fact, currently there are 662 people watching this channel.
So 662 people got to see that bird
That's
in
right.
the red zone cutaway double box?
That's right.
Effectiveness of advertising.
There's even a chat.
I'm sure there is. Oh, my goodness. Look at this fourth one down. Why doesn't Keon play?
One, two.
I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. You actually got me.
I know. You were really looking like, which one?
All right. Turn it back up real quick. Okay. I had to finish my spiel. Okay. So, anyways.
We're still in the spiel.
Yeah. Today.
Better do it before the bird comes back.
We're going to give you guys and girls and all creatures great and small my favorite itty, clarity. Clarity. And now the song's. I did that. I will not speak for Jason. I will never speak for Jason. Unless it's about Phoenix. But I
You can speak for me.
Oh my God. A Jason a little Jason hand puppet for you to have would be amazing. Like, That's actually a great bit idea. I have to work on it. Like, you have a little Jason sock puppet, and it's like your alter ego. So, like, it says, like, all the mean things you might want to say, but you don't.
Okay.
And it's not you. It's Puppet Jason.
I was going to say Mason, but then that's your...
Yeah. Payson? Puppet Jason? Pupson? Nope. Japit? Oh, I meant to ask you this the other day. I thought about this when I was gone. Your son's name is Jackson. Was there any... I know I've talked to you before about how you came up with the name. I mean, you didn't invent it, but you get my point. Was there any sort of alliteration with Jason and Jackson? Did that go into the thought process?
I think it was just a sidebar. I mean, a side...
Benefit?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, right. But not... No.
I know that's a weird thing to randomly for me to think about, but it was like last Thursday in the middle of the day. I was like, I wonder if... That's how my brain works, too. I wonder if... Because, like, with our kids, we wanted both Avery and we wanted them each to have one androgynous name that could work for both sides.
Yeah.
And so we had Avery, and then Mason's middle name is Riley. And, why? I don't know, but that's how it worked out.
And now she's too soon June.
Too soon June, dude. Yeah. But too soon June originally wanted to come home Wednesday and go back Friday for Thanksgiving. She will be coming home Tuesday morning, landing at 9 a.m. and leaving Friday evening. Daddy has won. Victory for Dad. Dad victory.
Missing school?
She's missing a couple classes, but they're on. But I know.
It's going to lead her to an extra semester.
We did, Team Avery, we did communicate, and by we, I mean she, with her teachers, and they're on kind of a holiday week, so they were all like, yeah, dude, it's fine. We're going to be watching movies and stuff, and it's nothing. Yeah, I know.
What are you paying for?
Apparently food, because that's all I get is her. I was FaceTiming with her a couple days ago. And as she's walking on campus, that's often when I get the time with her, is she's going from, she's got a half hour between classes, so she's walking and talking and all that. As I'm FaceTiming with her, she's talking, and I see her go from walking on the campus. She went into some sort of building or whatever, and then off camera, she's like doing something, grabbing something, and then she kind of stops, and she's looking at me, and she's looking at what she's doing. And then she goes back outside, and as she's talking, she doesn't skip a beat, and I'm going, I wonder what that was. Was she dropping off some mail? Was she picking up an Amazon package? She was in there for maybe a minute, literally a minute, and then left. And then as she's walking, again, didn't skip a beat, and then when she got done telling me whatever she said, as I start responding, she starts eating her soft serve ice cream cone. I mean, she's figured it out to the point where she just did a drive-by soft serve one-handed while FaceTiming me, and all I could think about is that is what I'm paying for.
You couldn't have been more proud.
Couldn't have been, honestly, could not have been more flipping proud. Hey, we have a Kyle, by the way, Kyle Ledbetter, everybody, is it was Anthony yesterday. It's Kyle today. Do we know the schedule, by the way? Because
it's Kyle the rest of the week.
Is it?
It's me until Verlad gets back here.
Gotcha. And then who is doing?
Which we don't know when that. I mean, it may never happen.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
I got to be honest.
You may be fed up.
Day 2, great energy. I feel great. It might be. That might have a connection. By the way, I have beaten jet lag.
You did.
I am the world champion of beating jet lag. Honestly, on the way out here.
Mm-hmm.
On the way out there, it's not this. That's not. That's a whole different Donahue. But on the way out here, took a little out. Ended up taking a little hour nap yesterday.
I thought that'd be good.
Little one.
Yeah.
Set my alarm to make sure it didn't go more than an hour. Got up, definitely was groggy. Rest of the day, and then went and picked up Mason from basketball, came back, fell asleep about 9 p.m. Woke up this morning at 3:28, 2 minutes before the alarm was supposed to go off. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I see.
Yeah, got a bushy tail. Grabbed a banana and off to the races. So, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything good?
Yeah. It was interesting. You and I had a conversation on the phone yesterday.
We did.
And end of the conversation, you just vaporized. You just disappeared. And I think.
Yeah, sorry.
And then you later told me that your phone died. And I thought, wow, if you only had a charger.
I know that.
After you showed us the backpack filled with probably
all
17 of them.
So what happened yesterday was, usually when I take my nap, that's also when my phone takes a nap. And I put it on the charger by my bed. And then, because by the time, this is how much I'm on my phone. By the time I get home around 11-ish and I eat my food, by the way, thank you, Carl's Jr.
Well done.
Thank you for
Good
yesterday.
batch.
It was just, I've said this before on the air, but the Carl's Jr. I go to on Elkhorn has an AI drive-through thing.
Now, when you pull up, I'm like, hello, David.
Hello. Welcome back, David. Same as always. So I pull up and I do the same. It says, hi, welcome to Carl's Jr. I am your AI order taker. How may I help you today? Or no, would you like to try our whatever the hell special derp. I was like, no, thank you. Okay, can I take your order? That's exactly what I do. Yeah, I'd like a famous star with cheese, no lettuce, no onion, fried zucchini instead of French fries. Can I make that large, please, with a root beer and 4 ranch dressings? Okay. Please look at the screen. Is your order correct? It was 100% correct. I said, yes, it is. Thank you. Please pull up to the window. I pull up to the window, give them my card. I get my root beer. The person hands me my bag about a minute later and says, I put the 4 ranches in there as well. They're in the bag. I went, okay, great. Thank you. Like, that's the future, dude. It's the smoothest order. And that's not, I wouldn't say it's the most complicated order, but that's not like, yeah, I want a number 1 with cheese. Thanks. I'll take a famous star with cheese, no lettuce, no onion, fried zucchini instead of French fries. That's a substitution. Make it large, root beer, please, and 4 things of ranch dressing. There's a lot of moving parts.
Why no lettuce?
Because what I find is, it's a great Jason. It's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. This is fast food mechanics here, and I don't want to get too crazy and scientific, but here's the problem. On the way from the fast food, now, I'll tell you, which will kind of give away my answer. Had I gone into the Carl's Jr. and sat down, I would 100% get lettuce. I enjoy lettuce on my burger, but here's the problem. They take 2, maybe 3 leaves of lettuce and set it on top. It's not shredded, it's the leaves. They wrap it up in a paper wrapper. They put it in a bag, close the bag, which now with the fried zucchini, and I found this, it's not a hugely popular order at Carl's Jr., at least not that one. So 99, if not 100% of the time, I get fried zucchini at that place. It's hotter than the face of the sun. I have made the mistake, by the way, the breading hides the heat. I've made the mistake, much like you would with a French fry, of grabbing a fried zucchini, popping open a thing of the ranch, and I end up putting the zucchini in my mouth and taking a bite and then downing the whole thing of ranch and swishing it. It's now a fire extinguisher of ranch. It's not for flavor anymore. That's
why you need 4.
Huh?
That's why you need 4.
You're damn right I need 4. So when the bag closes, it now creates a little steam cooler, and it steams everything in there and changes texture, including in the burger. So by the time I get home, I walk in the door, I let the dogs out, they jump all over me, I let them back in, I say, go upstairs. And we all go upstairs, and everybody hops on the bed, and I lay out my food. I take a couple of napkins, I lay them out. I'm on my left side, right? So I'm just going to give you the picture here. I lie on my left side, I got my dresser here.
You're laying down and eating?
I'm laying on my side. They say it's healthier to do that. No, they don't. So I'm lying on my left side. I got the dresser in front of me. I got the TV over there. I turn on the TV, put on whatever I'm going to watch. I'm in the blacklist right now. So I lay out 2 to 3 napkins. I don't lay them out as they come. I open the napkins, much like you would a tablecloth.
Yeah.
I fan them out. Thank you. 2 or 3 overlapping. So now I have created, because I can't get any crumbs on my bed, man.
Yeah, a napkin plate.
I've created a napkin plate. I've given myself a table, if you will, on the edge of my bed, where I will lay the burger still in the wrapper. I'll keep it wrapped, and then the fried zucchini, and then
hasn't it cooled substantially or no?
The burger?
No, the
fried zucchini. It has cooled, but now it's edible. It's cooled from face of the sun to edible. Okay, and then my drink's on the dresser in front of me. It's important that I empty out everything in the bag, and occasionally there will be some, let's just call them stray zucchinis that fall out.
Fun.
I have to make sure I get those, because here's why. When I finish with the ranch or anything else, I use the bag as a trash, and I don't want to throw trash in and then have to reach in to grab other stuff. And, I smeared ranch on my arm or something from the empty thing.
Past experience.
this is vet moves. This is a lifetime of eating fast food on my side. So I set all that up. I eat the zucchini first. Zucchini, one zucchini, a little sip of ranch. One zucchini, little sip.
Never dip.
Never ever dip. Never
drink.
I don't drink. It sounds disgusting. I sip. You know what else I don't do ever? Spill.
Oh, okay.
Never.
That didn't sound disgusting.
Oh, I thought the dogs like it. The dogs are at attention. By the way,
they're waiting for any wayward crumb.
Anything. And by the way, you think they'd learn by now? This is not dog food. Stay away. But as I am on my side eating and watching the TV, I'm ready to go. I have 2 French bulldogs at attention, looking simultaneously as cute and well-behaved as they possibly can. And it's like watching a tennis match. I reach in, I get the zucchini, I put it into my mouth, I chew, I go back. And they just follow and follow and follow with the occasional lip lick. They're salivating at this. Well, suck it, dog. Wow. You're not getting any of my fried zucchini, but thanks for watching. You have dog food. This is people food.
In the doggy bag.
In the doggy bag. This is my Purina. Stay away. So, eat all that. The point is, I'll land the plane. By the time I unwrap the burger, okay, the lettuce has now steamed and wilted to the point where it is not crisp and crunchy anymore. You may say, fine, take a bite of the burger, bite it, take your piece of lettuce with it. It's maybe not crunchy and crisp, but it's the same philosophy. Well, this is where we get to the sad part of the story. This is what I have to deal with on a daily basis. You see, I was not blessed with looks, intelligence, or good teeth. I have exactly one place in my mouth where my teeth come together, and that is my 2 molars and a couple of others in the back left from left to right on your radio dial. If you're in my head, my left. Okay,
back to the left.
That's where I do 100% of my chewing. So if I take a bite out of the burger, my front teeth do not connect to where I can sever the lettuce. I can only beckon the lettuce. I cannot sever it with my teeth. What happens? Yes, come with me. So what inevitably will often happen in these situations, if I try, is that I will take a bite of the burger, and then as I pull the burger away from my mouth, I am left with what I can only affectionately call a lettuce bib that is hanging from my mouth with mayonnaise and ketchup and God knows what all over it, and then proceeds to soil my shirt in the chest area, near my chesticles, basically. So much like I have difficulty with onion rings, that you cannot shove the entire thing in your mouth. If it's a big enough onion ring and I have to bite into it, oftentimes I will take entire ring with me, leaving a hanging cooked onion ring, and then I just have this half moon of breading left over.
Delish.
That answer your question?
Yeah. And 4 ranch packets is the right amount.
That's exactly right. It was absolutely perfect. And I'm also, you have to also be disciplined to know and take stock of where you are with your ranch dressing levels as you're eating. So I may at some point midway or 3/4 of the way through eating my fried zucchini, I have to have exactly 2 ranch packets left when I get to the burger, because those are for the burger. So I may be 3/4 of the way through my ranch and realizing that my ranch to zucchini ratio is a little too high and I'm not going to make it. Much like if you're trying to get to a destination, you have to drive a certain way if you're low on gas. I have to adjust my ranch to zucchini, or what let's call that RTZ levels, so that I can have my supply for the burger.
How would you do at a Super Bowl party if someone made fried zucchini and had ranch dip.
That's a great question, Jason, and I'll answer it for you. What I will inevitably do is, if it's that type of party, they will also have little paper cups or some sort of thing that you can put nuts in or something. Oftentimes they do, and if not, I may seek one out. Here's an example. My friends make a wonderful bowl of homemade salsa all the time, and sometimes when we go over there, they do taco night. And every time they do taco night, they do the tacos, and then they have this big thing of salsa, right? Well, it's not enough for me to, they actually take the tortilla, they put the raw and seasoned ground beef on one side, they fold the little mini tortilla over, and they deep fry them. So it's kind of a different way. The problem is that you can't really pull it out, the tortilla apart, and fill it with fillings. So you could dip it or different things. What I do is I go to the kitchen and I grab like a coffee mug, and I will fill said coffee mug about halfway with salsa, okay? And then I will take a bite of the taco, and then much like somebody might sip coffee with a donut, I will sip salsa with my bite of taco, creating a perfect salsa to taco, or STT ratio. Now, as we break, some of you may say things like, "You're a disgusting human," or "I hope you die," which is a little harsh. I would simply say this. Much like the two gloves when I play golf, much like the tee in the shaft, the tee that you tee off with in the shaft, much like drinking the mug of salsa with my taco, I would just simply ask you to put aside what is traditional in your mind and try to appreciate, if you can, open your mind, if you will, that these are all efficiency things. They're all efficient. I wear two gloves so that I can have double the grip on my shaft. Hello. I put the tee in the top of the golf club because there's a little hole in there that the tee fits, and that way I don't have to worry about grabbing a tee. I hit my shot, and then I put the tee right back in my club. It's always going to be there. I sip the salsa much like somebody would coffee. It's not gross. I'm not sitting there pouring it into my mouth because I don't want to spill and make a mess, and that way I can ensure. Maybe I dip my taco. I don't have enough salsa on there. Maybe there's a big chunk of tomato that falls off on the way up. I don't know, but I always have the perfect ratio.
It's about efficiency.
It's about efficiency, Jason. And today we're going to talk about efficiency. We're going to talk about plans. We're going to talk about the future of your Sacramento Kings. It is the first 10 games in State of the Union Sacramento Kings address at 7 a.m. It's such a big segment that I'm actually looking at 2-3 for Madness questions here. I want to get rid of them. There will be one for Madness today because we need 24 minutes, Jason, to break this down. Coming up next, Week 10 wraps up in the NFL. Eagles, Packers, what a game. We'll talk about it next.
Let's go. You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Kohl's has 20% off gifts that are so good, your family might think you read their minds. Check off your list now with cozy, thoughtful, and stylish gifts that will make them say, oh, how did you know? Yep, with these presents from Kohl's, you're gonna leave them feeling impressed and convinced that you're a psychic. Shop Kohl's for an extra 20% off gifts that are the perfect fit. Select styles, offer ends November 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Staples presents An Easy Holiday.
Running a small business during the holidays is hard.
No truer words were...
But this year, Staples helped me have an easy holiday.
Your script has a typo.
Nope, easy peasy. I just ordered online at staples.com and picked up in store. And with UPS on site, shipping was easy too. Plus, huge savings on tech, custom cards, even my holiday sale signage.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com today for up to 45% off select laptops.
That was easy.
Ins 12/27.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
At Bank of America, we're proud that more than 20,000 veterans and people with military backgrounds have joined our ranks since 2015. Now we're committed to adding 10,000 more over the next 5 years. By helping veterans achieve their career goals, we're moving from appreciation to action. And together, helping expand economic opportunity across America. Visit bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Can't remember if I said this yesterday, but congratulations over the weekend to the band Soundgarden, who was inducted, amongst others, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm a massive, massive Beatles fan, but I would say for my era, nobody I hold in higher regard than the late Chris Cornell. Probably Chris Cornell and Anthony Bourdain have been the two entertainment or artists, I should say, that I took the most difficult when they passed. But Chris Cornell, not just Soundgarden, but his vast array of, I think, incredibly underrated solo work, which would merit at least a Hall of incredibly good, if not Hall of Fame note. And then his band with Eddie Vedder and other members of Pearl Jam as well, kind of a mixture, Temple of the Dog, which was a one-off album in tribute to kind of the band that started the whole grunge movement, some would say, Mother Love Bone, in which the lead singer passed away, which is unfortunately a very common thread with grunge bands of that era. So you had Temple of the Dog, one of the great CDs of the grunge movement, whatever you want to call it. Soundgarden, his solo work, and then his work with Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine and others in Audioslave, a band that may eventually get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So for me, Chris Cornell that's my favorite talent of my lifetime. The Beatles were before that, so it was nice to see them get in. His daughter did a wonderful version of the song "Fell on Black Days." If you get a chance, check it out. Jim Carrey, by the way, who has become incredibly reclusive over the last 5-10 years, was the person who inducted them.
Oh, wow.
And did the speech, which was fantastic. Recalled, he talked about their performance of Pretty Noose on Saturday Night Live way back in the 90s and how he was completely blown away, and they ended up all becoming friends, which I did not know. I did not know Jim Carrey and Soundgarden were a thing, but they were. So there's that. Before we get to football, you asked me during the break, and I'm sorry I got carried away with ranch dressing to address this. So last night, you and I were having a phone conversation, which we often will, talking about the show today, just different things. And at one point, I think you were talking.
No, you were.
I was. No, you're right. I was, because I kept going. And all of a sudden, I finished. I think I finished what I was saying with a question. And you got distracted or something because you did not respond. And then I said, "Hey, man, you there? Hello?" And then I looked at my phone, which was completely off because I think I fell asleep and didn't charge it yesterday or something. So then I went upstairs. I charged the phone. It must have been really dead because it took longer than usual. And then I saw a text from you, which is basically, "Are you okay?" And then I texted back that my phone died and apologized. And then I was thinking, I think that I'm, we always put a fine line on etiquette and politeness. And I didn't call you back for two reasons. One, it was getting a little later in the day. Mm-hmm. And two, I felt that the conversation was on the landing strip of concluding. Yeah. And I felt like had you had something else that I knew I was pretty much done. It's like when we do an interview and we'll give each other the little signal like, I got no more questions. I was at the no more questions part of our convo. I felt like you were as well, but if you weren't, you would text me or you would call me back. Would you say that was the proper etiquette, or should I have called you back, being that it was my phone that died, to say, "Hey, dude, sorry, my phone died. Are we good?" I just felt like that would be 5 minutes of us basically saying the convo was over.
I think based on my text back to you, and then when you text me back, it's like, yeah, we were done.
Yeah.
But it was weird on my end. What I heard was it wasn't a – so you kept going, you said, for a couple of minutes.
I did. As a matter of fact, you said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Sorry, dude, my phone died, just came back to life." I think I kept talking for like 4 minutes, to which you said, "If only you had a charger."
Yeah. But I think what I heard on my end, it was like, "Bah!" It was like a noise like that.
It was?
And I went, "Are you, and that's what I said.
So that was something like electrical or in the.
It was more of like, in my mind, it was like, oh, did one of the dogs jump on a place they shouldn't jump?
Right.
That kind of, there was like a weird sound.
Somehow cut off.
And then you disappeared. And I went,
"You okay?"
And then when you respond, I'm like, okay.
That makes more sense, your text now.
Yeah.
Like you heard something completely, because I just kept going I don't even know when it died, but man, I was much like on the show. Yeah. I was on a run about something.
And then even what I did say, I thought, oh, what if that really did happen? Not so funny.
I think it's funny now.
Jinx. Everything everyone does.
I'm telling you this right now.
You could probably say what I said.
I can't. Okay, so now it makes a ton more sense based on what you heard, because Jason didn't say.
I mean, we're in a standard conversation at this tone, nothing weird. And then
nothing weird.
Ah! And then you disappeared.
And so Jason, actually, he didn't text me, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Did you get shot?" Now that makes a ton of sense. And it is important to understand that our phone conversations are not like our radio conversations. Right. Like, I'm not like, "Hey, Jason, what's going on? Coming up in 5 minutes, I'm going to tell you about the thing." Like, we're just, monotone talking. And we have this running joke that you have to understand that when Jason and I call each other, the first 30 seconds to a minute.
This is gibberish.
This is no joke. It's generally we're making sound effects at each other. This is a fact. This is not radio made up. Jason, I'll see Jason on the caller ID and I'll pick up and I'll do something like, "Meh," and then Jason will go, and I'll go, and like we do that. If somebody actually recorded it, right?
Did they get shot?
Right. So then when we wrap up the call, and this is kind of an ongoing bit, when we wrap up our phone call, like generally one of us will be like, all right, well, cool, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. And then someone will be like, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, sounds good. And we'll do a voice. And then my favorite thing is that at the moment when we're dismounting the call, Jason will be like this, see you tomorrow. And then I say, see you tomorrow. And then Jason goes, all right, sounds good. Talk to you later. Totally normal voice. And I pointed that out to you a few months ago, and now I know you're aware of it.
Yeah, and now I try to change that.
And now you do. I can tell you
have a
foot in each one. So the hope is that I'm glad etiquette was followed.
Yeah.
Also, before we continue, and thank you to the text line at 916-339-1140 for all your, I'm getting a lot of different little hijinks and what's the word the guy uses in The Fugitive where he says, I don't know, hinky.
Hinky.
Yeah, don't use the word hinky.
Yeah.
I don't like words I don't know what they mean. Yeah. Hinkiness going on with your food. Like, for example, I dip Fritos in sour cream. Somebody says, hey, you know what? If it works, it works. And by the way, sour cream, the base for most chip dips, by the way. Nothing wrong with that. But this text from the 209, it's perfect timing because I wanted to say this anyways. You know, we're doing a show today. We're talking about what we're going to talk about today. Everybody, you know, we're having fun. Blah, blah, blah. Also want to acknowledge we all, for the most part, have them in our family or know people or whatever. Today is Veterans Day. And there is, now remember, Memorial Day is remembering the fallen that made the ultimate sacrifice for our family. Veterans Day is a day to appreciate those who are serving. Well, I guess it's technically who have served, but I think nobody's going to care if you fold in active duty to Veterans Day. Those who are serving or have served our country. That is something I never did. That is something my father did, my uncle did, both my grandfathers did, veterans of world wars and Vietnam, and my father-in-law, rest his soul, who died directly from, you know, Melissa's dad from effects of Agent Orange, who ran a radio, was the radio guy in the middle of the stuff, who never talked to her about it for obvious reasons. You know, for all of you who have served our country, I know MC is incredibly proud of his service, and he damn well should be. We have a lot of fun, but I'm always, you know, that I'm always in awe of people who do that. So, you know, on behalf of all of us, please take a moment to say something for our wonderful veterans. And I've said this before, I'll say it again, Jason, I know you're the same way. There are very few cooler feelings than seeing somebody in a hat or any sort of gear that you do not know, or a family member, and going up and shaking their hand or saying something to them and saying thank you for your service and looking them in the eye.
Right.
I think, I don't want to presume, but I imagine it makes them feel good, and you will feel good doing it, and it's the right thing to do. So you shouldn't just save that for Veterans Day. Anytime you see somebody, it's never not okay to thank them for their service, past or present, and we really, really appreciate all of our veterans more than we could ever communicate. Eagles beat the Packers, and that's your wrap-up. We'll take a break. When we come back,
about what the game deserved.
God, just a stinkeroonie, man. Let's get into the Sacramento Kings for the next hour-ish. Sean Salisbury is going to join us, we think, at 8 a.m. But over the next hour, we are chock full. Hour plus, Jason, actually hour 20. We have nothing but Kings. Like I said, I'm going to get rid of the first two questions for 3 for Madness. It's going to be 1 for Madness because we're just going to focus on Sacramento. When we come back, let's talk about these Kings defensive issues, and we're going to go back in history a little bit as well. You may have heard what Zach LaVine said the other day about personnel. He's not the first guy to say that. As a matter of fact, somebody else said it less than a year ago, a familiar voice that we will play for you. So when we come back, we'll do that at 7 a.m. We'll talk about the future of the Sacramento Kings. We'll be right back after this.
The Kings play here, baby! Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Amateur players will be pleased to know that the USGA doesn't object to a friendly bet with your weekend foursome. Friendly bets include soft drinks after the round, hot dogs at the turn, or even a $2 Nassau, one of the most widely used bets in golf. It takes its name from the Nassau County Country Club of Glen Cove, Long Island, one of the many clubs frequented by the well-to-do in the late 19th century. As the story goes, matches between these clubs were often reported in the local newspapers, sometimes to the embarrassment of wealthy industrialists coming out the loser. The Nassau captain J.B. Coles Tappan then devised a format where the worst possible result could not be reported as anything more than a 3-0 defeat. In a Nassau, 3 equal wagers are placed on the first 9, the second 9, and 18-hole total. A $2 Nassau is sometimes referred to as a 2-2-2 bet. Some play better with a bet to keep their attention, others are nervous at the thought of losing. Whatever your choice, golf is a game, have some fun. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
David, are you here? Can you hear me?
Apparently not. I think we had about a 3-minute break, and we talked for the first 2, and then he left. It's a bad sign.
Housing that banana, though.
He totally housed. Well, not really. I thought he was, but just the beginning part.
He would have loved the song, too.
He would have. He's a big fan of Hugh E.
Yeah, well, he's never going to know now.
Yeah. Nobody knows. He'll never know.
He will never know.
He will never, ever know. All right, as we said, we got a lot to get to. We will have Sean Salisbury coming up at 8 o'clock. Give us some... There was, last night, the game actually, by the end, ended up being a little bit compelling. It was important for the NFC playoff race between Philadelphia and Green Bay. But little drama at the very end. Still ended up being a victory for Philadelphia.
All those poor people who finally caved and got the FUBU or the Fubo TV
right?
Just for that terrible game.
Yeah.
Thought it was going to be a must-watch NFC classic, and unfortunately it wasn't.
Not so much.
Missed it as that break. Sorry, I was right. I didn't go anywhere.
I know. I thought you left like 2.5 minutes into the break, and I'm like, this is only 3.
I thought it was a 3-3. I misread it. I went to the... talking to Pat and Cody.
Yeah.
And they, by the way, they agree. I was getting their opinion on the etiquette of when my phone died. They agree with us. No need for a callback. No need for a callback. Which is today's show name. No need for a callback. You want to talk Kings?
Sure.
Okay. So we've had some conversations throughout the year about defense. Do they have the personnel? Is the effort there? No matter who it is, if they're not playing defense, then they might not play. We've heard that. And then 10 games into the season, Zach LaVine has really been the first member of the organization to kind of acknowledge a lot of what we've said and what a lot of people have said. I don't want to make it all about us, but no, I kind of do want to make it all about us. What we've said, which is you can't ask a dog to moo. You can only do so much without the proper personnel. Here's what Zach said. Here's what he said. And
I think everybody's understanding that that's the focus. I think that's what they came into the season with, obviously. Obviously, there's a personnel thing with that goes with it as well. Guys can go out there and play as tough as they can on defense. I said, speak for myself. I think we've all been trying. I've been trying my ass off on defense, but you need a team collective, the right identity. Sometimes you need the right personnel out there. You're not going to ask Rudy Gobert to go out there and average 30. So he's a defensive guy, though, and that's his job. But I think with the guys that we have on the team, we got to play to the right strengths of the team. And I think defensively, we got to be there for each other, help each other. But then on the other end, we got to take advantage of that. So, that's what I think, and that's what I see. I think guys are giving the right effort. It's just frustrating when we're not getting the right results.
I think Zach has been a really good and fun, I don't know if fun's the right word, but a very insightful interview this year. Mm-hmm. That's one era of his game I wasn't familiar with. He got here last year, and it was kind of a tornado, and then he had some off-court stuff he was dealing with. And being able to talk to him, Jason, you and I, at Media Day, which was probably my favorite interview.
I don't think I make too much money. I think I get paid more.
That was the best part. Thank you, Kyle.
I don't think I make too much money. I think I get paid more.
So then hearing him there, Zach, I didn't hear Zach making excuses or blaming others or being negative. I heard Zach analyzing basketball, and I think he's 100% correct. And this isn't the first time this has been brought up. Now, I'm going to take you back, way back, to less than a year ago, last December.
Oh, way back.
This is nobody get triggered, please, because there's two triggerings going on in this next clip. This is on Draymond Green's podcast, and it's old friend, old acquaintance, old enemy, De'Aaron Fox, and Draymond Green talking about the defense and the frustrations of the Sacramento Kings from the point of view of Draymond having played for then-coach Mike Brown. And I thought in light, Jason, of Zach LaVine's comments a couple days ago, it would be interesting to revisit this conversation.
I'll tell you what I'm surprised at. I'm surprised the thing that y'all have struggled with as a team is defense, because Mike Brown with defense, that's what he do. He guru. And so I know it'd be driving him crazy. So you got to challenge. You got this on y'all as players, because Mike Brown, I know he losing his hair.
He lost whatever hair he had left, wherever it is. Obviously I think personnel is a thing. We're one of those smaller teams. Obviously we have a legit shot blocker. So you're fighting against kind of construction. You can't. Obviously, you're only as good as your personnel a lot of the time. So for us, we throw out different things and different looks, try to, muck the game up, try to change the way that people see us. I might guard somebody, then Keegan might guard somebody, then Keon might guard somebody. But I think he's making do with what, he's got.
I think it's important to kind of create that juxtaposition, because Mike Brown's reputation is he's one of the best defensive minds in the NBA. And I think you're really going to see that, going from the Sacramento Kings to the New York Knicks when it comes to coaching defense is like going from me to Brad Pitt when it comes to if you're a modeling company. It's you now all of a sudden have this amazing personnel, all these guys who've completely bought in. And on the Warriors, if that's a sandwich of Mike Brown's career and the Warriors and Knicks are the bread and the Kings are the filling, the Warriors have one of the great defensive players, let's just call it, of all time in Draymond Green. Klay Thompson, who in his day was a very good wing defender. And you have personnel like Kevon Looney and others that can kind of help. Steph Curry is not a gifted defensive player. That's not what you're getting out of Steph. But what Steph can do is he can delay his guy at the top a little bit, as De'Aaron Fox said, is kind of the head of the snake, pick somebody up. And when they inevitably blow by him, he has this entire established defense behind him. And I think that was a lot of Mike Brown's defensive philosophies. Take the De'Aaron's a more gifted defender, in my opinion, than Steph Curry, and just try to pick the ball up, give your team a chance, especially obviously in transition, to establish their half-court defense, and then execute your half-court defense. The problem is you don't have anybody on this team other than Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis, one is hurt and one ain't playing that much, that are able to B-plus defenders. They're all either liabilities straight up, or, as you said yesterday, like with Sabonis, he's not necessarily a negative or a positive. He sure as hell isn't a rim protector. Right. But he is a big dude. It doesn't matter what Doug tries to do here. This personnel is not going to be good defensively.
Yeah, and I think that's what we heard De'Aaron say. What Mike Brown was trying to do is muck the game up, find different ways to defend. And I think that's probably what Doug Christie is doing, and trying to find the mix between the best offense with enough defense. And some nights it's acceptable, but if that offense isn't there, and then that separation starts to happen, then the defense looks worse. It's just, they're in a really tough position. Again, back to roster construction. And if you had a team like Mike Brown has now, let's say in the Knicks, where you have some pretty good, like OG's a really good perimeter defender. I think Bridges has been. Hart.
Yeah.
And then Towns is a big body. I don't know if he's the greatest rim protector.
Still 7 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas now Sacramento is not filled with a bunch of great wing defenders, nor anything on the interior. So there's not really one point of attack where you go, at least we have this.
That's right.
And they just don't have that.
The other problem, too, that we're seeing is on offense as well. This is the ultimate my turn, your turn offense. They are, as bad as they are defensively, they're not a ton better offensively. I think it's just their pure individual talent that's helping them. But when you look at who they have on the floor, let's just look at their starting lineup currently. You effectively have one shooter on the floor in Zach LaVine who shoots from beyond the arc with efficiency. DeMar DeRozan is your midi guy, but Dennis Schroeder, Achua, even Sabonis, other teams aren't worried about the Kings swinging the ball around. They're not worried about movement as much. They're focusing. They know the ball's odds are going to come to LaVine. It's going to come to DeRozan, or it's going to come to Sabonis, and that's where the ball is going to stay.
Yeah.
And so they don't have to rotate defense.
Another spot where Keegan would help.
Another spot where Keegan would very much help. And Keegan is going to – look, Keegan's not the savior.
Right.
I really hope people don't put a ton of pressure. Keegan will help the team. They will be better with Keegan, and they will – in the end, win more games with Keegan than without Keegan. But also, I think you and I both know, too, Keegan ain't going to make up 30 points against Oklahoma City. We'll take a break when we return. All right, one for madness. We're getting rid of we'll talk about Nick Kurtz and his Rookie of the Year at some point probably. I'm going to use the second question to fold into the third. And the third question simply the remainder of the season and where we're at. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the next segment, because I think we're going to provide some clarity, most of which you already know, and really hopefully start this process in earnest of where the Kings are going, what the remainder of the season will be like, and beyond. We'll talk about that next.
The Kings play here, baby! Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home with a 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Everybody knows that Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the spot to get yourself a brand new car. That's why people are coming from all over. Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville. But they also have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes and models, every one of them top quality, hand-selected by General Manager Chuck Dean. Over 70 vehicles below $30,000, over 25 below $20,000. You can see that full lineup at SacSuperstore.com, and if you find a lower price somewhere else, they'll match it. And on top of that, the best car buying experience anywhere. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sactown Sports, 1140. 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Sean Salisbury coming up in an hour, we hope. Sean's a busy guy, but generally 8 a.m. on Tuesdays. In the meantime, let's get started. 3 for Madness. Question 1 and only.
Question 1, from where you stand right now, how do you see the remainder of the season going for Sacramento?
Good question. Also, I'm sitting, Kyle. I'm not standing. So already it's kind of a bad question.
You set me up.
I did. I set you up.
It's a trap.
So, I want to monologue a little bit here. I want to be clear, Jason. You may or may not agree with all that I am going to say, and I speak just for me. But generally, you and I, with some exceptions on the periphery, have been fairly in lockstep, as have a lot of Kings fans this year. And for the next few minutes, there's not going to be anything earth-shattering or breaking news. But I wanted to wait 10 games. I wanted to do the research. I wanted to look at everything. And I am ready to say I've seen enough 10 games into the year. And I'm ready to announce officially, the Sacramento Kings have officially entered rebuild stage. We're there. Now, this is not a tanking stage. You can't even make any trades till December 15th, I think. So let's be clear on what this is and what this isn't. But I've seen enough in both, and we'll get to Doug Christie and rotations as well. But here is, and this is nothing new. I'm just ready to absolutely, instead of saying this is what I think, this is what I'm telling you. I'm very confident that's happening. And also got to be clear too that organizations don't necessarily come out and go, okay, everybody, this is what we're going to do. There's a lot of politics involved, and I'm not talking about the obvious one people are probably thinking about, which is selling tickets. It's politics with players, for example. Scott Perry is what I would call a wartime consigliere. This is what he was in New York. You look at what New York is doing right now and what they've done the last couple of years. This is a team. They may not win a championship, but they sure as hell are in the conversation in the Eastern Conference to come out and hit the finals. Scott Perry went into New York with James Dolan as the owner. And this is a guy, and we've talked about this before, that turned over the entire roster with the exception of one minor player. It's not like he kept a star and built around. He turned over the entire roster within, I believe, before 2 seasons was up, in like 21 months. And I believed when he was hired, he is here to do the same thing. He is here to do a similar thing. This is not Pete D'Alessandro. This is not Vlade Divac. This is not even Monty McNair. And what did all three of them have in common? They were all three rookies. They were all three first-time general managers. We can go all the way back, and I'm going to bring back a lot of things we've been setting up since the summer, Jason, and just kind of try to bring them forward to make the case. We can go back to before Scott Perry was even a general manager and was appearing on a podcast talking about somebody he may or may not have known would be a future player of his, Zach LaVine.
No question that Zach LaVine can score the basketball. He has proven that his 9 years in the NBA. I know this is his 10th season. He has shot the ball well. He's a career 38% three-point shooter, explosive athlete. He has proven that he can score the basketball. Next thing that I look at is, does he impact winning? Zach LaVine has been to one playoff series in 9 years. So he's played a total of 4 basketball games, 4 playoff basketball games. So now I say to myself, I'm looking at paying 40 this year, 43, 46, and 49 million in subsequent years for a guy who, to this point, has not impacted winning to the level that his money says he should impact. So there's not a real match there, in my opinion. Now, as I look at the teams, and you bring up a good point, Mo, when you start talking about him as a third option, which I think is the best fit.
Okay. I think Scott Perry came in, and this is where I'm going to do the dangerous thing that we do sometimes. And look, I can't use the past against Scott Perry. I can't. No, we can't use that against Scott Perry or a coach or anyone else. You can only judge them on their
only his past.
Only his past. Yeah. That's exactly right, Jason. I think when I really have been having fun with his Monday motivational things, because I do think that he is, I don't think it's an accident. And you might think I'm reading too much into it. I don't think I am. I think Scott Perry has been sending out smoke signals for a while, and yesterday's was no different. He said, many people that have achieved great things have also endured failures along the way. One of the sustaining forces in their success was an unwavering faith in the final outcome. In the end, you won't be counting the number of times that you fell, but celebrating the wonderful reward which comes to those who endure each step along the way. They will be those holes and those missteps, they will be long forgotten. I think Scott Perry is making a direct reference to a rebuild. This is not just a this year thing. I know that there's a lot of Kings fans that are not going to welcome this news, but I think that most of them will, as long as it's laid out, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. This is not just a this year rebuild. This is a next year rebuild. I'm here to tell you that this team will, at a minimum, I believe, all my opinions, will at a minimum be in a rebuild phase at minimum for the next 2 years. So playoffs, play-ins, almost certainly not going to happen. Part of the reason I say that is you look at their salary structures. They are paying $190 million this year, 48 to Zach LaVine, 42 to Domantas Sabonis, 25 to DeMar DeRozan. That right there is about $110, $120 million to 3 players. Next year, it actually gets even worse because Keegan Murray's $24 million extension kicks in from 11 this year. I believe they are looking at the next 2 years before they can truly start to move forward. So what are they going to try to do? Try to do is the operative word in the next 2 years. Oh, I almost forgot. Doug Christie is also, I don't know if he is the lowest paid coach in the NBA, but I know based on our conversations with Sam Amick, who sourced this news, he is amongst the lowest paid coaches in the NBA with a 2-year deal that has a team option for the 3rd season. Everything you have to continually remember, and you're going to get bored of this. We're going to bring this up time and time again. This is a 2-year minimum project. At the end of those 2 years, the Kings will then, of course, again, assuming Doug's still here, and this is the NBA, but assuming he is, and I believe he probably will be, they'll be able to, at that point, I believe, Jason, they are going to want to be much lower on payroll with the ability to either sign a free agent or absorb money in a contract or in an expiring for draft capital. They are going to be much younger. Right now, I believe they're the 3rd oldest team in the NBA. I think they're going to try to flip that on its ear and be bottom or top 10, however you want to say it, in youngest teams. And at that point, they're going to have to make a decision. Do we want to extend Doug Christie and have him be the guy to nurture this team, or are we going to bring in more of what I imagine would be a taskmaster-style head coach who is going to try to get the most out of these young players and shepherd them to the next level, which, again, this is just a guess on my part, but if you're thinking about that type of coach and you're thinking about Scott Perry, just remember Scott Perry is the guy that hired Tom Thibodeau with the New York Knicks, who got them to where they were last year. I could 100% see Tom Thibodeau. If it's not Doug, which I'd love for it to be, I could see Tom Thibodeau being the coach of this team in 3 years. But that's just way speculation. I think by the end of this season, when you want to talk about playoffs or play-in or successes, I think Kings fans, as we shepherd through what is actually the first real, true, dedicated rebuild that we've ever seen. Some people are going to say, we've been rebuilding for 40. No, we haven't. We've just been bad for 40 years. There has not been a dedicated, purposeful rebuild. They're following the blueprints of the Oklahoma City Thunder, of the San Antonio Spurs, and more accurately now, because Oklahoma City got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in one of the most lopsided trades in NBA history. The San Antonio Spurs, once again, got one of the great, it seems, number 1 picks, franchise changers in NBA history. I would look more towards 2 teams. The Portland Trail Blazers and a team Scott Perry is incredibly familiar with, the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons, very early in the season, are sitting atop the Eastern Conference, which was, I believe, a 2-game lead on everybody else. The Detroit Pistons, you may want to remember, I'll take you all the way back to the Bean Team year, which was just under 3 seasons ago. The Detroit Pistons were 17-65. The year after that, the Detroit Pistons were 14-68. That was 23-24. Fast forward to this year, the Detroit Pistons are 9-2. They have a 2-game lead on the New York Knicks. It's very, very early, but again, these are the 2 teams, if you're a Kings fan, I would keep a focus on. The Portland Trail Blazers, not as crazy. They've lost 2 in a row. They're 5-5. They have some quality wins, and it looks like they have done the thing where they have built a young core with some very good young pieces, not including Scoot Henderson, by the way, the former number 2 pick, who has done virtually nothing for them. And I think that's why they brought in Drew Holiday. He's in the Russell Westbrook role, if you will, to mold and work with this young team and provide them some stability. So it's time, if you can do this, to stop looking at to retrain your basketball brain. Wins, play-ins, playoffs. These are not the things we're going to need to look for over the next 2 years, because I don't think they're going to be very common, or as common as we would hope them to be. I think at the end of the year, the playoffs for the Sacramento Kings is going to be having one or more of these large contracts gone for something that they can work with in the future. Who am I talking about? I'm specifically talking about Zach LaVine. I think he's at the top of the list. I think DeMar DeRozan may be the most movable. I think, and I hate this, but I think Malik Monk is also in that category of players that may not fit the timeline that deserve to be released into the wild, if you will, to compete, and is also going to be a little bit movable. And I think Domantas Sabonis is on the table as well. I think of the players the Kings have right now, I think there are exactly 3.5 players that you could say fit what this team is going to try to do and are on that timeline. Number one is obviously Keegan Murray. They have committed to him. He should be with this team, barring a crazy offer for quite a while. I think that they think and hope that they have at least a very good rotational pace in Nate Clifford, and you can add that into the list. I think Max Reynaud, I don't think they're thinking he's going to be an all-star, but my guess is at the very least a very capable backup big that's very young and on a rookie deal. And I say 3.5 because there is some confusion about Keon Ellis. I do think he's the type of player that fits that mold. Whether or not they're going to be able to extend and re-sign him, I know there's a lot of drama there. I think at the end of the year, if they're able to move one or more of these pieces to acquire either salary cap freedom, hopefully future draft picks, pick swaps, young rotational players, I think those are the rules. And we'll talk at 7:43 about the patience a little bit of this is going to take. But, Jason, I'm ready. And I feel very confident in being able to say that as this team progresses this year, I think whatever the record may be, I do not think this is going to be a 40-win or probably a 30-win team. I think eventually, if they get their way, they're going to move off of some pieces that are going to make them worse on the floor, but hopefully better in the future. And now we actually get to see in Sacramento what an actual directed rebuild is going to be.
And I think if you take all of those things that you addressed and mix them in with kind of the wording that Scott Perry and Doug Christie said even before the season. Look, I think they always have goals of winning as many games as possible. Mm-hmm. But I think it's difficult based on roster construction.
That's
and
right.
I think they know that. But doesn't mean they're going to try to win tonight. They're going to try to win tomorrow night. They're going to try to get as many wins as they can. But I think inside the words that they've been saying is they're really trying to build a sustainable culture too.
Yes.
And I think the culture can lie in better contracts, some younger players too. It doesn't mean these guys can't do it, but I think they're just in a really unique and weird position. I think if that's almost been kind of the universal thing. I talked to one of the announcers from Minnesota the other day. He goes, "Boy, you have a weird team." I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's kind of acceptable." It's like he sees some things. I go, "Yeah, there's some things here that on certain nights you go, wow, they look pretty good tonight." Mm-hmm. Facts. Mm-hmm. And other nights they get a team that loses by 20 plus and you see some of the deficiencies. So, yeah, I think all along we have thought at some point in this year they have to make some changes. And I think it's the reality that they will do. It's for us on a night-to-night basis, knowing that it's happening, wanting to, like, it's Christmas is coming.
Right.
Yeah, it will get here, but it's not here.
No.
And so while we're there, you try to make the most of it. You try to make you still compete. You still try to get to some of these culture things. You still try to get some player development, even though they're playing a ton of the veteran players. But I could see maybe even at the end of it where if you somehow moved on from a couple of the more expensive contracts, and even if you had a team at the end of the year that had a few more younger players featured and someone like Russ was still here.
Yeah.
And you just kind of went, all right, well, there's a veteran player that's the least expensive.
Yes.
That's getting you results. And, you know, the team may not be winning a lot of games, but he's leading in a way like, look, that guy plays hard on a 18-win team, on a 24-win team, on a 60-win team. He's kind of the same player. And I think to your point of the individual pieces you're talking, I think there's no doubt they can move DeMar.
I agree.
It's just what's the best deal? When do you strike? I think he would be coveted. The one that's interesting, I would like to ask you this. Who honestly do you think is more difficult? I think we've all landed and said LaVine.
Yeah.
Is Sabonis more difficult to move than LaVine based on there's a few dollar – I say a few. There's dollar differences. Sure. We're talking about a $5 to $6 million, which I shouldn't treat it that trivially. Sure, yeah. But Sabonis is paid a lot of money and is for a lot more years.
Sabonis makes $5 million less than LaVine this year. He makes $3.5 million less the following year. Let's remember Zach as a player option that he may or may, I don't think he's going to let go, but
I don't, but you don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
He might get a better.
Then all of a sudden he's 1 year.
That's exactly
or
right.
the rest of this year.
That's exactly right. And then Sabonis makes $48.6 million the following year. I think it's a great question, Jason. I don't have a solid answer for you. I think you're dealing with the 3-time defending rebound champion who is still he's going to be in his prime for the remainder of his deal. I think if they do trade Domas, I don't think it's a coincidence, Jason, that Domantas Sabonis' career has spanned, I think I got this right, Oklahoma City, Indiana, and then Sacramento. Which they're all 3 small markets as well. I think when you look at a Sabonis, I think it's going to be a small market that needs a piece down low that also knows that he's locked up for the next couple of years and they don't have to worry about him moving. I think ultimately when it's all said and done, that's probably where Sabonis would get moved. I also think that it's important to talk to, and I'm glad Trent is in our chat, because I think there are a lot of Trents out there. And I don't say that in a bad way. This is what Trent is going, what I'm going to read from Trent right now is I think is a perfectly understandable thought process. All right. He's got a bunch of them, but winning is the only thing that matters. This is loser talk. And I've talked with Trent enough to know where he stands on this stuff. Well, let's go to the thing. Winning is the only thing that matters. Okay. We have been so conditioned to sucking in this town. Not over the last 10 years, over the last 45 years, 40 years, whatever. That we look at the second best time, arguably, in team history, the second best era to be the Beam team here. I think if it's not second, it's third. It's definitely top 3. Obviously, 2002 is number 1. When you really think about it, over a 40-plus year period, the biggest highlight in this franchise's history is making and losing a Western Conference final. Arguably, the second biggest highlight is making the first round and losing on your home floor in 7 games. That's the top of the pops here. To 95% of the rest of the NBA, that's horrible. There are so many teams out there right now, I would say at least half the league, that if you lost in 7 games and you were the 3 seed and the other team was the 6 seed and you lost, that's a failure of a season, but that's what expectations or lowered expectations will do. The idea here is not to do that and not to take shortcuts. The idea here is to build a sustainable winner that is able to compete year in and year out. So for Trent, I would simply say, and for those thinking, this sucks, I don't want to see this team lose a bunch, this is loser talk, you play to win the game. I wish Herm Edwards had never said that. It's so taken out of context. Winning is everything.
Yeah.
You're 100% right, but I would like to amend Herm's, with all respect to Herm Edwards, I would like to amend his quote because I think it would serve better. You play to compete for a championship. Ultimately, that is what every team drives to, and there can only be one. And everybody else didn't win a championship, but I'd rather lose in the Super Bowl, Buffalo Bills. I'd rather lose in the Super Bowl, latest example of the 49ers, than suck every year. And I think most people would agree with that. So I would say to the Trents of the world, if this is pulled off the way they are going to try to pull it off, and there's a lot of ifs, man. This doesn't guarantee anything.
Oh, no way, yeah.
You've got to pick. You get the picks? Right. Great. You got to make them. You make a trade, got to be the right ones. But if you give yourself enough darts to throw at the board, you give yourself a better chance. For example, Oklahoma City's draft history. I've got it in front of me right now. Now, last year in the second round, they grabbed A.J. Mitchell. It looks like a hell of a steal, potential 6th man of the year. Nikola Topic, who may be wonderful, but again, he's dealing obviously with some serious personal health issues, has done nothing in the NBA as of yet. 2023, Derek Lively, who was traded. Hunter Tyson, who was traded. Keontae Johnson. 2022, Peyton Watson, traded to Denver. Jalen Williams, not that Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams. Chet Holmgren, and then the all-star Jalen Williams. Very good year for them. The year before that, Miles McBride, Rokas Jokubaitis. Trey Mann, Alperen Şengün, who was traded to Houston. Josh Giddey was traded for Caruso. It's a good, and then you go to 2020, Cassius Winston, Emmanuel Quickley traded to New York, Brandon Clark traded to Memphis. There's a lot of names in there. It's a good draft history. It's not an insane draft history. And I would argue that person for person on a team that was starting from scratch, if you had a choice taking age, salary, and everything into account, if you had a choice between having Alex Caruso on your team or Josh Giddey on your team, I think 90% of the NBA take Josh Giddey at this point. So person for person, you could argue, well, Oklahoma City lost that trade, but it was a tremendous trade because Caruso fit their team despite the fact that Giddey has probably more upside potential. You play to win, but Kings fans, we have been in this purgatory with slight breaks for air for 40 years now for the most part, of shortcuts and short-term gain and not doing the work. We've been through pain, but there's nothing worse than this purgatory of 30, 40 wins, a low draft pick, a play-in now, or a low playoff seed at best, and then starting all over again. And we're an older team. It's a mismatch. It's a bad roster construction. You do play to win, but you play to win championships. And I would say to Trent and everybody else who goes 2 years at a minimum, are you freaking serious? I'd rather take the next 2 years and be on a directed, professional, dedicated rebuild than take the next 2 years and fart around like we have been and be in this position of ground floor in 3 years, continually an outpost of the NBA.
Yeah. And I think every move they make from here on out, whether it is drafting at 1, at 5, at 18.
Yes.
Did you get a good draft pick? Did you get a player that you believe, look, this player is going to fit this team and help the team? Every trade they make along the way. You don't want it to be where, like even what's one of the most successful trades they've had in recent years?
How about the Kings?
Yeah.
I mean, Sabonis, Halliburton.
And some still rip that.
Sure.
And they got a good player in Sabonis.
Yeah.
Now, I'd rather have Halliburton. That's fine.
Totally
but you want to still be in a spot where you go, Kings did okay there.
Nope.
Kings did okay there.
Sure.
Like they need to be in more of those conversations than what are they doing?
Right.
Kind of conversations.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we got breaking news. Kyle will let us know what that is. I don't know what the hell it is. And also, we'll take a look at tonight versus Denver. After that, let's talk about the patience required for this as we're talking about the Kings on a rebuild track. Let's talk about the patience from the fan base point of view and how we're going to have to kind of try to tweak our brains in the near future. When we come back, breaking news next.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets.
Tip off at 8, your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Is Sactown Sports 1140.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours. Even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com. This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Carmichael Dave. He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
All right. Well, let's get some very unsurprising breaking news, please.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
it's Sactown Sports breaking news.
As rumored yesterday strongly, Shams Charania is reporting the Dallas Mavericks are firing Nico Harrison. 9 months after a Luka Doncic trade, a move for which ownership took accountability and accepted as a mistake in a courtside interaction with a fan on Monday night, which started this process. The Dallas Mavericks are currently 3-8, second from the bottom in the Western Conference. And the centerpiece of that trade, Anthony Davis, is currently not playing. He has a calf injury. There are worries with him that may lead to something worse. You know, they're on deck for his Achilles. He has played in 5 games so far this season for Dallas, in which Dallas has played 11. He has played in less than half the games, and that is something that Anthony Davis has a massive reputation for, unfortunately. Jason, this is no surprise, and really, I am quite happy to hear this news, if for no other reason that I hold out hope that at some point when Nico Harrison has been extracted from the Dallas Mavericks and is confident in his landing spot, wherever that may be, and good luck, imagine being the team that hires him, we'll be able to maybe get some more info on that trade, because that trade stinks to me as much as Game 6 in 2002. That trade stinks to me as much as the Knicks frozen envelope, more, because I think that's bogus. That trade stinks so bad, and here we are months later, and I'm looking at Mark Cuban selling his favorite thing in the world. Shortly after that, Dallas trading Luka Doncic without an open market. And then months later, Dallas, who, by the way, beat the Kings in the play-in last year, getting what most say is a generational talent in Cooper Flagg somehow in the draft. That trifecta, that triangle, Cuban selling the Doncic trade and the Flagg lottery win, that smells so terrible to me that I can't believe Pablo Torre, who talks to Mark Cuban every day, our old friend Pablo Torre hasn't jumped on that thing.
Yeah, the whole thing about all of it, like the biggest crime is not that they traded Luka, it's that they didn't ask everybody, what will it take if you want Luka?
Right.
So, like, I mean...
And it's the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, here's the one thing, not even to defend Nico, because whatever, that happened, it's crazy. To defend Dallas as a team where they are now, they're playing Cooper Flagg at point guard. That's not his position.
No.
They are getting a tremendous player back at some point this year in Kyrie Irving, but are they going to be too far behind? they're going to be a different team now. I mean, they're changing their direction, at least with the one running the ship. But at some point, if you could imagine a team with Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, all the other bigs, Kyrie Irving, I think it's a pretty good team.
Sure.
But it doesn't matter. You made the move. You didn't put the open market out there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you have Giannis on your team right now. Maybe you have, we always say that nobody could trade for Wemby. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe there was a possibility.
Sure.
I doubt it.
Sure.
But let's see. What would it have taken? Luka and what?
Right.
To get Wemby.
Right.
I don't know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
No, I
should have had the conversation.
I think you're 100% correct. When you look at the fact that they got one of the most damaged players in the NBA year after year.
And when healthy, he's fine, but he's not.
He's not, and he damn near never is.
Yeah.
Max Christie, no relation, and and I'm not doing the thing where we include Cooper Flagg in that deal. I understand that may have somehow put them in that. We're not connecting those.
And it super motivated Luka because you basically fat shamed him.
Yes, and we've talked about that. Like, we can understand. I don't know that I would have traded Luka Doncic, but the spirit of, if you're like, look, dude, this guy's out every night getting, drinking whatever and smoking the hookah and parties, and we're paying him a ton, and we're just going to we have a ceiling with him, and eventually the guy's, not there yet, but eventually he's going to get older, his body's going to break down. This ain't Dirk Nowitzki.
You get the rationale.
Yes, and
not the practice.
Right. So, okay, we're going to do this. Okay, we're like Miles Bridges. Mikal Bridges, got 5
Not
draft.
that one.
Yeah, got 5 first-rounders. Okay, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, 4 first-rounders. Okay, if we're going to do this, the starting point is an all-star young player and 4 first-round draft picks, preferably from a team that ain't that great. You think you couldn't have called the Charlotte Hornets and gotten, again, we're talking about injury issues, but you think if you say give us LaMelo Ball and 4 unprotected first-rounders, they say no for Luka Doncic? You think if you'd have called the Detroit Pistons and said give us Cade Cunningham and 3 to 4 first-round, I mean, that's a conversation, but you get my point. Hold on.
Basically, I call all 29.
All of them.
Like, what's it going to take? We're doing this.
You think if you call the Sacramento Kings and you ask for De'Aaron Fox and 3 or 4 first-rounders to bring Luka back in, think about this for a quick second. Think about who's at the Kings. Do you really think that's not a conversation?
Right.
You could have Washington. Maybe not Utah because Danny Ainge is Danny Ainge. But who knows? You think you couldn't have called the New Orleans Pelicans and had the pick of their roster plus the pick they ended up trading to Atlanta and 3 more? There is so much you could have gotten for Luka Doncic, and you got a walking rehab who is a Hall of Famer, who ain't getting any younger, Max Christie and a couple other whatever. So I totally get that. That was a fireable offense from the jump. But I need to know more about Mark Cuban selling to Sheldon Adelson's widow. I need to know more about why this was just talked about with the Lakers and not on an open market. I need to know all of that, man, because this is hinky.
Yes, for sure.
And not Sam.
Right.
Because Sam Hinkie would have gotten 12 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So today he gets the boot.
He gets the booty. So that sounded weird. Like booty isn't kid booty.
Right.
Like the foot, not, although who knows. Tonight, the Sacramento Kings take on the Denver Nuggets, and I think the most pressing question, Jason Ross, I've been thinking about for a couple days now. I would like your thoughts on the 8 p.m. start.
Oh, I love it.
You love it.
Love it.
Which do you love more? Well, okay, let's play like or spike. Like or spike, 8 p.m. starts or ties?
8 p.m. starts greater than ties.
Better than ties.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Ties
like or spike, 8 p.m. starts or the USC Trojans? I'm asking. I'm just trying to gauge your hatred.
8 p.m. starts.
Okay, so far.
Better. Way better.
Okay, like or spike it. World hunger and famine or 8 p.m. starts? Just asking. Because it sounds to me like you don't really hate 8 p.m. starts.
I don't.
Compared to,
I would prefer it not to be.
Okay.
As I told Kyle earlier today, I get to be there for the 8 o'clock.
That is true.
I don't got to be there. I don't have to be there. Well, I guess I have to be.
Is this officially the latest start time in the history of the Sacramento Kings?
I believe it is.
It's got to be, right?
I don't remember an 8 p.m. start. And what becomes hilarious, not that anybody's hankering for a Kings game in Connecticut, but holy crap, the East Coast.
Yeah, and look, they decided this coast-to-coast thing, and it's partly with NBC, partly with Peacock here, but I was telling this to Kyle as well beforehand. I think the one thing the NBA is really good at, they're going to try things. And if this coast-to-coast takes off, we'll see it for years. If it doesn't work, this is 1 year and done. The Kings have 5 of them, though. 5 of these Tuesday 8 o'clocks.
My thing would be, and I know this probably doesn't work with the NBC Peacock schedule, but it's like, dude, if you're going to have an 8 p.m. start, make it a Friday or Saturday. Because it's not just you having to do the morning show the next day. It's also all – forget about the East Coast. It's
well, let's take tonight's opponent, Denver.
Yeah.
That's an 8 o'clock here is late.
Yeah.
Just for everybody locally to go to a game watch. I mean,
is it 9 there or 10?
Yeah, 9.
Oh, that's right.
So about 8 o'clock here, let's say the game, it'll probably be standard 10:15, 10:30 finish.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're 11:30 there. But if you're an East Coast fan, I know all these are going to be West Coast teams, but I just feel like you're shutting out part of your product to some of the nation.
I want to shout out, and I think this is important. I want to shout out the at least one person, but realistically probably in double digits, that live in the Eastern time zone, that are either transplants or expats of Sacramento, that have to work tomorrow morning on your normal 8 to 5, 9 to 5, that are going to watch this game starting at 11 p.m., really 11:15 p.m. their time, and try to stay awake all the way till 1, 2 a.m. for a Kings team that isn't very good playing the Nuggets in mid-November. Jason, I guarantee
someone will.
There will be people that do that.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. That's loyalty. That's a lot of loyalty.
That is.
It's a big shovel of loyalty. And then
that's a late night for you.
It is a late night for me. Yeah.
Dave's not going to watch the game.
I watch every second of the game.
Will you be in bed watching the game, though?
Of the second half, at least.
Yeah.
Got Mason's big birthday dinner tonight that's been posted. And I'm opening up my present from my parents from my birthday in August. Because my mom was in the hospital, so we didn't want to do it without them. This has been our first opportunity. So my sister and my brother-in-law are up with my mom and dad. They're coming over tonight, and we're having an early dinner because Mason has practice at 7:30.
You're opening it today. It was produce.
It was. I know, right? It's a bunch of bananas. By the way, you got an 8 p.m. start tonight, and then not for nothing, Jason Ross, and just another little schedule coinky-dink. The Sacramento Kings are going to tip off 2 NBA basketball games in under a day.
Yeah, see, this is where the new television deal has changed things, because I used to think there was a rule you could not tip off within 24 hours.
Apparently.
And they will be tipping off 23 hours later.
They tip off tomorrow against the Hawks, who, by the way, had a nice win in L.A. yesterday.
Yeah, so I wonder what Atlanta will do tonight. They'll be, sometimes there might be some Atlanta staff people at the game tonight. They'll be at the Sawyer, I'm sure, and are they just sitting in their rooms watching a game, knowing that, hey, these guys are all running around. I'm just sitting here.
Just chilling.
Yeah. Play those guys tomorrow night.
We'll take a break. When we come back, as we told you at 7 a.m., the Sacramento Kings rebuild is officially underway. Let's talk about it a little bit. Let's start to get used to this. Does the fan base, do we truly have the patience for what's coming? Because we have never really been through anything like this before. We'll talk about some of the tips and tricks to going through a rebuild next.
The Kings play here, baby!
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so
Let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home with a 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
David, are you here? Can you hear me?
Well, in case you missed it, looks like news out of the NBA. Nico Harrison expected to be fired today. Fired. Get fired by the Dallas Mavericks. So
Nico did not get the set of steak knives. Sorry, Nico.
He didn't?
Well, there's still time.
Yeah.
He hasn't technically been fired yet.
Well, Shams reported he was fired.
The initial tweet was at a meeting at 10 a.m. Central Time, he will be fired.
So 15 minutes.
So in 15 minutes, he will. I'm sure that meeting has been moved up in the past 15 minutes.
Imagine being Nico drinking your coffee in Dallas or some outskirt reading Shams going, oh, well, I know what this meeting's going to be about. Do you just call and go, guys, we don't need to. Just send me my HR package.
Yeah.
Or if they do that the same. Like, it's a meeting with, like, the owner and the HR person. And they got, like, a little envelope for him with all his remaining salary and a check. And a little, like, thank you for everything.
Remaining salary, $16 million in cash.
Wouldn't that be... What a day. Oh, man, I got fired, but I'm all full of cash.
Oh, man, I'm all out of cash.
Nope. You just got a nice big check. I wonder if they give it to him. That'd be great if they gave it to him like at golf. Just a big old check.
Better go to a big bank.
He's got to carry it out with him.
Okay, so what is worse? The way that it was reported Mike Brown got fired on the way to the airport, or Nico Harrison getting fired before the meeting ever happened?
I think Mike Brown, because at least there's an argument against Mike Brown deserving it. Nico, woof.
Yeah.
No class, no balls.
By the way, breaking future news, and Peg on the chat. Was it Peg?
When it breaks.
No. Oh, it was Aaron, sorry. Yes, Nico Harrison hired for a lucrative contract as a special advisor to the LA Lakers. Yeah.
They couldn't get away with it.
Or he special advisor to Jeannie Buss for the ownership transition. It's a 1-year, $55 million deal.
And then they start chanting "Fire Nico" at Laker games.
Well, or no, they start chanting "Thank you, Nico" at Laker games. Are you kidding me? As much of an enemy of Dallas Nico is, hell, he'll open arms.
What do you mean? He traded Luka once. You think he wouldn't do it again?
He won't have the control.
Back to Dallas. Are the Fire Nico chants done?
Well, he got fired.
I know, but wouldn't it be kind of funny?
They just do it anyways.
Yeah.
They could have done it like Fire Nico. Rebuild. Today's theme is rebuild is here. Now, look, here's some things that we can't speak on. Is it going to work? Nobody knows. Are they going to pick the right players? Nobody knows. Is the franchise in 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, or tomorrow going to change their mind? Nobody knows. You can only speak on today and where the direction is. Now, again, there might be some just tuning in or some that have been tuned in going, we've been doing rebuilding for 40 years. No, we haven't.
Now, why do you say that?
Because I don't think at any point in Kings history has there been an actual directed rebuild. And here's how I define a rebuild. A rebuild is trading off your highest contracts, which generally are your best players, for nothing but youth, either youth, talented youth, immediate cap relief. So, for example, if they were to trade $45 million Zach LaVine, who's got 2 years left on his deal, for $45 million bleh, who expires this year. That's cap relief. And or future draft assets. Now, we've seen, especially, let's say, 2007-8 to 2000, call it 17. Let's just look at that stretch, because I think that would be the stretch most associated with a possible rebuild. I don't think there was ever a plan to rebuild. I look back at their moves, and I just don't see it. I think they were just terrible. And then I think they got picks, and they made the picks, and then they continue to be terrible because they had terrible picks. I think they were trying to win. I think Maloofs wanted to win. I think there's no Vivek Ranadive, I promise you, did not come in. In fact, when Vivek took over in 2013, I know this for a fact, you know this for a fact, the remit, the absolute, and this wasn't just Vivek, this was Chris Granger, this was the whole organization. Playoffs by the Open of Golden One Center in 2016. That is not a guess. That is actually what happened. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen, but that's what happens when you draft Ben McLemore and Stauskas and on and on and on.
I guess my pushback would be if somewhere along the line of when they had Evans and Cousins in that next few years of drafting, which they did not do very well, if they landed one in there and it was Kawhi, Giannis, it doesn't matter who the player is. When they go, would that then, because that player was successful with those other two or some version of that, would that have felt like it was the rebuild because they got the pick right?
I think that's the closest it would have.
Yeah.
And I'll go.
And how about trading DeMarcus? Would that be the rebuild?
Go a step further. I was going to say, the DeMarcus trade, which
got a young player and picks.
The DeMarcus trade, they got Buddy Hield and they got some picks. And by the way, and again, just like I don't want to tie Luka trade to Cooper Flagg, but we can go a step further. As a direct result of the Cousins trade, that put them in the position to draft De'Aaron Fox. Again, I don't want to tie those together other than mentioning it because it took a lot of things. It took, remember, they had that pick encumbered. It was the Markelle Fultz, Jason Tatum swap that Boston had. That used to be a Kings pick. And then also that was from the Jason Thompson stuff, I believe, that they got from Philly. I could be tying that together wrong. No, I think that is right. And then on top of that, remember, Danny Ainge traded number one down to number 3. Philly took Markelle Fultz, and that's an example of a rebuilding team. And Sam Hinkie had the number 1 pick in the draft. How different do those two teams look if Philly drafted Jason Tatum and Boston drafted Markelle Fultz, who, by the way, was the clear-cut number 1 pick in that draft? That wasn't an accident. And it took Phoenix drafting Josh Jackson, who would have been probably a Sacramento King had Phoenix taken De'Aaron Fox, which they obviously should have, on top of all of that. I think had those things happened and they decided to stay in that direction, I think that would be the closest we could classify the Kings in doing a rebuild. But when you tie in terrible draft picks with terrible moves and trading DeMarcus and the firing of Michael Malone and all the things that go together, you now have a wartime consigliere general manager who did this exact same thing in New York that's coming in here, who is literally on record with their highest paid player saying, as we played the audio earlier, that that's too much money and he ain't affecting winning. Now, there was a lot of context there. He was very kind to Zach LaVine about it, but that's what he said. Also, look at this roster, too. I think it's also when you're talking about building culture, right? Jason, who on this roster has a proven record of winning at a high level?
Probably, Russ.
Yep.
DeRozan has. I mean, in Toronto, they won a lot.
They did win a lot in Toronto.
Yeah, it's getting pretty slim.
There aren't any proven winners really on this roster, other than, I would say, 1.5, because DeRozan's had more. No, I'm not blaming him, but he's had more losing years than winning years. Russ is the closest. Yeah. Russ is in that, like we've talked about, Russ is in that Jrue Holiday mode, but he just doesn't have the Trailblazer roster. So when you're going through a true rebuild, as the Kings are setting off to do, we think, you have to find success in non-traditional ways. And that doesn't mean necessarily moral victories. You know how years ago, and I'm just having fun here, don't send me any letters, the term alternative facts was coined. We have to start looking at things like alternative wins. Mm-hmm. Okay, what am I talking about as the entire fan base rolls their eyes? Are we developing our youth? These, in my opinion, are the things the Kings should be graded on this year and next year. Are we developing the youth? Are we playing them enough, and are we seeing growth and development amongst our younger players, our future pieces? Are we gathering draft picks and assets? You know, the Oklahoma City Thunder, if the season ended right now, still have a top 10 pick in the draft. They continued to add and add and add draft picks and those young assets. We're going to have to get used to, again, watching college ball. We're going to have to watch college ball, do our own, imagine what this guy, or this guy would look at. You're also going to have to say goodbye to some players that you like. There's going to be some tough decisions made if this thing goes right. I like Zach LaVine. I think he's a hell of a player. You're not going to like on the surface the trade they get for Zach LaVine if they trade Zach LaVine, almost certainly. You ain't getting back a Zach LaVine-type talent for Zach LaVine. You're getting back probably minimal draft capital and some old broken-down contracts that fit the bill. But also Domantas Sabonis. I believe he very likely, almost probably will be moved over the next year or two. I love Domantas Sabonis. I love the Domantas Sabonis chant. I think he's a hell of a player, and more importantly, I think he's a hell of a teammate, and I think he rides for Sacramento. I think Domas is going. Yeah. We're going to have to understand and look for the signs between a dedicated and directed rebuild and just being bad. And this team is, if they do it right, that's if they do it right, Jason. Right. They're going to get almost certainly a lot worse before they get better. And we just have to look for those signs like they've seen in Portland, like they've seen in Detroit, like they saw in San Antonio, like they saw in Oklahoma City. You're just going to have to start looking for the signs of gathering those young guys, gathering those assets, and watching that fruit build. I don't know if Scott Perry can pull it off. I don't know if they're going to stay disciplined. I can't speak to the future, and I'm not here, and I know you're not, to say, hey, guys, happy day. We're rebuilding, and we're going to win a championship. What I can say with relative confidence is that the philosophy of the franchise, including Vivek Ranadive, because I know a lot of people are asking that. He's fully aware. Mm-hmm. They're all in unison. Let's see how it works. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll switch to football. Sean Salisbury joins us next.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets.
Tip off at 8, your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
SacLegalDefense.com. The number is 916-304-9187. And when you call that number, you're going to reach Gonzalez Law. The lawyer there is Jonathan Gonzalez. He and his team have been phenomenal for years, and they can help you out. He's one of us. He's in Sacramento. He's been in Sacramento and is in downtown. You can reach him. You've got those questions, and he will help you out. If you're looking for some advice, someone to represent you in a criminal case, in a wrongful termination case, sexual harassment case, maybe you've been in an auto accident, something that's happened in your past that's still following you around that you'd like removed from your record, something he has done and specialized in, that's called an expungement. There's lots of areas that he has of his expertise and his knowledge and his overall experience that he has helped people out in our region, and he can do the very same for you. Again, it's Jonathan Gonzalez, Gonzalez Law, SacLegalDefense.com. Call him at 916-304-9187.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need Downy rinse tonight, and I need it more. My king was the bed and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do, I'm always in the dark. The sweat in that short smells like a dog car. And Downy rinse it tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-646-5454. That's 800-646-5454.
Get Black Friday savings during the Happy Honda Days excitement going on now at Stockton Honda, Northern California's best Honda dealer. You'll score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Oh, welcome back. Halfway through a Tuesday program. And as always, almost always, schedules permitting, at 8 a.m. our time, 10 a.m. Central, where tonight's Kings game, if Sean Salisbury wanted to watch it, would start at 10 p.m.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. The one, the only, Sean Salisbury. Good morning, Sean.
What's happening, guys?
Normally, we go right into football or screw around with Hallmark movies or something, but you're not in Dallas, but you're in Texas, you're in Houston, and you're acutely aware of not just football. I've often said Sean could come on every week, literally, and we could do nothing but basketball or baseball or Hallmark movies or regular movies.
Anything.
Normally, my preference over the football stuff, but that's okay. You know, we all like to do stuff that's not what everybody has you kind of pigeonholed to do. I mean, my enjoyment is baseball, basketball, PGA Tour, college hoops, maybe my most favorite of all of it. So wherever you got to go, man. I may not be able to tell you what you want to hear, but I'll tell you because I pay attention.
Well, Nico Harrison got fired from the Mavericks. I think as we speak, he's being fired, if you believe the reports. But Sean, Jason and I were just talking about it, and for me, when you talk about all these conspiracies, the triangle of Mark Cuban selling to Sheldon Adelson's widow when Mark Cuban lived and breathed the Mavericks, to the trade for Luka with no open market to the Lakers for damaged goods and Anthony Davis, to the third side of the triangle, which is they shockingly got Cooper Flagg as a play-in team. That is one of the smelliest things in the history of the NBA to me. But when you see Nico Harrison get fired, I imagine nobody in Texas is going to be feeling bad for him.
No, he's amazing. I mean, it permeates all the way. We're about 4 hours away from Dallas, but even when last year, when at the end of the season, when Luka got traded, I mean, it was banter on our show, and they can't stand the Mavericks. You're talking about the Rockets, right? Somehow the Spurs kind of just fit in, and nobody really bothered by them. But when it comes to the Mavericks and that whole thing, the Rockets fans, it's just like in any sport. But it is the Hatfields and McCoys. Yeah, man, when you're going to do that, and it was a curious trade in the first place, one of the worst we've seen. And that's a difficult job as a GM, but you know what? You get paid to make the decisions, and if they're going to empower you, you got to make them. But I'm with you. It's like, well, that worked out. And you know that there's, the talk of casinos and all that stuff coming to Texas and a bigot complex. So when Cuban, sold his off, and you keep a closer eye. I think it's a deeper dive into some of the reasons behind it. But he's had opportunities. He traded away a player that everybody loved, even if he was a little soft and out of shape. He'll still score 30 falling out of bed in Luka, and you go get him for a guy who's going to play about 40 games a year. That set him off. And then when you're not winning, and now you get the first pick. So there's a lot going on, and we're supposed to be in a performance, results-oriented pro sports business. And a lot of times we get guys on potential, and then we want the performance, but the potential may not have matched what you thought. So he got it, and he's going to be out. And the Dallas Mavericks, well, I think they're 3-7 or 3-8 to start the season. And he had to have a fast start with this. He just did. But they're going to start fresh over. And if you're going to do it, you may as well do it early in the season to get the new GM accustomed and affiliated. There's some good ones out there. But I think that after the Luka trade, guys, they had to have damn near everything perfect. He got a little love after the draft, but that was because you were in the right position. But if you don't do anything with it, you're going to have to move on, and that's exactly what they're going to do, and probably better for it. It felt like he was overwhelmed with some of his decisions.
Sean, all the years we've talked to you, I know we've talked before about whether or not you'd want to go into coaching and that. I don't think we ever asked, how about the front office? Would you ever want to do GM or anything like that?
Yeah, I would. I don't put it out there and promote it very much. I've actually put my just during this time right now, put my resume into, I got a master's degree in sport management, and that's the reason I went and got it. Aside from promising my parents at my USC graduation that I was going to get a master's degree. So I have when you say credentials, they want you to have a master's degree. I have that to at least be interviewed. I would love it. I would love to be a general manager for a college, or athletic director, general manager, or at least be a part of the personnel part of helping someone. Yeah. I know that's not easy too. A lot of people think because you played that, we automatically think you can go be a good coach. You see a lot of professional former players in sports go into management or coaching, and it's tough. Look what Dion and Warren Sapp and Marshall Falk are struggling with. Great players, great football players. The problem sometimes is that players can't live up to those guys' expectations, so we lose patience, meaning those guys, because who's going to be Marshall Falk or Warren Sapp on the field? And so that can happen. So you got to be a patient coach, and there's a lot. I think coaching's tougher than playing. Once you get, I do, because especially in college with all the stuff. So yeah, I would love to. And the coaching thing would have to be perfect for me at this point, because the right coach, meaning it doesn't even really matter the destination, but that would matter a little bit. But it's the people you're around. But as far as being a GM or an athletic director, now we have both in college. I'd love to go learn from somebody, because for me, it wasn't about, I was a player, I know this. I kind of deep dive, even when I'm watching games, I'm watching games for other reasons. Now, I'm no capologist. You have to find somebody else to do all that math. But when it comes to personnel and leadership, I think I've seen rock bottom enough, and I think I've seen the top of the mountain at times, and people who have lived at the top of the mountain, not me, but seen it. And I've read enough books and been in enough experiences that I think I could help somebody, but I don't pine for it. I don't openly go after it. But I have put my resume into a couple places that I won't mention, that, whether it's an associate athletic director, that I'd love an interview. That's all I want is an interview, and then we'll go from there. But it's not something that I'm pursuing heavily, but I would absolutely love to do it, because I think that's the next step in my career to development, whether it's young people they're all young people compared to me now. So yeah, that would be great.
This is one of those questions where I'm going to rely on yours and my long, long history, because I think you'll know where I'm coming from and the respect I have, not just for you and your playing career, but what some don't realize, especially in this generation, the multi-sport national recruit you were. But I often think, Sean, about you in coaching, and we've talked about it before, but also how you would be really the perfect type of coach and the type that would have success. Because when you look at, and again, I say this with love and respect, when you look at the history of great coaches and managers, more often than not, it's not Michael Jordan. It's not Tom Brady. It's not the guy that is the greatest of all time. It's the guy that did it as much with his IQ and his work ethic as his God-given physical abilities, whether it's a catcher, whether it's the point guard, the person that had to bust his ass to get through, mainly because the psychology is, well, Michael Jordan just does it, and Tom Brady just does it, and they work hard, but Sean Salisbury or Bruce Bochy or Eric Spoelstra, who used to play at Portland State, they had to do it as much with their mind as their bodies, which is how they're able to teach. Does that make sense, and do you agree with that?
100%. I don't take it offense to it. I take it as a compliment. And the ironic thing is I was that guy coming out of high school division, and I don't mean this arrogant at all, but just to set up what you and to validate what you're saying, as a guy who was recruited first by Michigan State and UCLA and USC in basketball and Division I baseball schools. Football was the last one, and because I didn't play till I got to high school. And so I was that guy that was a 5-star recruit and everybody wanted you. And then I hit adversity, shredded my knee twice. So I've seen both ends. I know what it's like to sit up there and everybody wants to talk to you after a game as a freshman. And you're like the number one recruit in the country. And I also know that, well, after you get hurt a couple times and don't get drafted, nobody wants to talk to you.
Right.
And you're not going into the restaurant getting the free drink like you did when you were a Heisman Trophy candidate before you got hurt. Now you're going in and you got to raise your hand and say, I did play, what I'm saying. But the patience part of going through it, I think it's important. I can't tell you what the first pick of the draft's like because I was never the first pick of the draft. I know guys who have been. Right. I can tell you what the guy who wasn't drafted had to go make a team. So I get both ends of the spectrum. I know what it was like to have people fawn over you and then to turn you, and in business as well. So I've seen the business, not just sports, because leadership comes in different forms, and it's not how good you were on the field. So I have learned valuable lessons along the way of getting kicked in the teeth and got to fight back. But that's life for most people. And I think that is so important. And you're right about the Bochis, the catchers, the backup quarterback. Because remember, when you're a backup, you have very minimal opportunity to make mistakes. Mm-hmm. The window is not that big. If you're the first pick of the draft or a first-round pick where they've invested in you, you get 3 years of mistakes, and sometimes longer. And then there's somebody else to think they can fix you. When you're a guy who wasn't drafted, you went through injuries, you are a GM. You think about a coach. Most of them go to 15 different jobs in 10 years before they get the gig they want. So you got to go or a radio guy. Fortunately, I didn't have to because I played, but think about the grind that everybody goes on to have to go through small radio situations to get that one. Same thing with GMs. You were working as an assistant. You were driving the guy to the airport and getting his coffee, and then all of a sudden you're a graduate assistant, and then you're an assistant defensive backfield coach or assistant GM to the whatever, and you have to work your way up. That's been my career. And it's 180 degrees different than I had planned when I was in high school. Everything was easy. You were the best player in basketball and baseball and football. And then it switched 180 degrees where you got to fight every single day for survival. And it's been in my post career. I wasn't the first pick of the draft who's in the Hall of Fame. You're going to get Monday Night Football. I had to grind. I had to do ESPN News. I had to be a college sideline reporter. I've seen every facet of it. So, and I don't mean it arrogant. I know damn well if I was coaching that I can make a difference because I've seen it from all ends. And I teach. I don't coach. I'm not a yeller and screamer. I'm a passionate one, but I know how to teach. And if you can't teach and bring everybody along, you're not doing your job. You can't bring just 85% of the guys along. And also when you get buy-in in the building, I know the difference between having players have to kiss your ass because they like you, but want to be around you yet respect you because they know the work you've put in. And it's a hard gig, and all of them are, and I have a lot of respect. But I do think we're at a time when buddies get jobs and guys realize that, like, man, you can't hire your friends unless they're worthy of the position. And so I would love the opportunity, if nothing else, to just get interviewed in some of these in front offices or GMs, because I think the whole goal is to win, to make people around you better, like you're supposed to do as a quarterback. And when you've seen all of them, getting knocked in the mouth doesn't bother me anymore. There's nothing you can say about me negatively or do to me or take a job that will affect me or get into my self-worth or do it. I've been there, done that, and it's happened, and it's beat me down, but never again. You can't do it. So if they talk about the guy who can take a punch, I can take one, but I sure as hell can deliver one too, not literally, but in the figurative mode. So, yeah, if somebody ever calls up from Sacramento State to USC to the Denver Broncos to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm listening, but I'm not pining for it. But the right people, and I know I can elevate somebody around me, and I think that's the job. And I do it without ego, because when you've been kicked in the teeth, you're bringing ego to it. I bring pride to it and preparation, but I don't bring a lot of ego to it because, listen, you can be the best player in the world, the best coach in the world, and 2 years later, if you don't have – ask Brian Daboll. He had him in the playoffs and got a new contract and everything was rolling in New York. 2 years later, guy's out of a job during the season. So you can shift on a dime, so you better be prepared for it, and some can't handle it. I'd like to say that I had more successes than failures, but sometimes you're thinking, I don't know, maybe – and I've never learned much from succeeding, honest to God, other than how to be humble. But I've learned a lot from getting knocked around a little bit. And so if they want that kind of fighter, then I'm him. But I also know the profession, and I've worked hard at studying the intricacies of whether it's front office or coaching. Yet here I am broadcasted, and I love that too. So, they always told me the more you could do. And my dad said the same thing, be prepared for anything. And without my dad and mom's advice and that push, I would have never, ever been able to handle failure. We can all handle success. Can you handle failure at the worst of times? And I can tell you the one thing I'm proudest of, I can. And that's the one thing I'm most proud of in my career.
Sean, you mentioned Brian Daboll. Beside it being one of 32 jobs in the NFL, is the Giants job, is that a good one?
The Giants job, I think, is, listen, anytime it's a New York job, it's always a good one, right? I mean, when I say that, I'm talking about media, all the stuff you want. Now, from the standpoint of you better be thick-skinned, you better have a sense of humor, and you better win. There's no pay. And you better do that all over sports, but you're going to have to win quickly there because it'll shift on a dime. And both New York teams, they're not good. Aaron Glenn's learning how quickly it changed. Aaron Rodgers, players as well. And some don't want any part of it because it's too much pressure. The job, it'd have been better if Saquon Barkley was still a Giant. You didn't trade away and had Malik Neighbors playing. But you start to look at their defensive front. You start to look at the talent on the edge, the young quarterback. See, I always start there because you come in, you're like, man, I got a guy who's a decade starter with all this energy. Jackson Dart's a good place to start. Hell, Lane Kiffin would be perfect for the job because he's a smart ass, because he's matured. He's been through the Saban stuff. He's had some great jobs. I don't know if he's going to take it, but Jackson Dart, it may tempt him a little bit, but he may still want to do the Cobbs thing. But if you go in there, you better have a suit of armor on, because you can win 9 in a row. You get beaten on an embarrassing game in front of a national televised audience, they will torch you, and that's okay. Philly, Boston, you learn to be thick-skinned there. Those fans are passionate, and so is the media. So I think, listen, any NFL job's a good job, but you better be in position. You better have a quarterback. You better get buy-in immediately, and you better hire. We always give the head coach the credit. Look around you. The coaches that hire great assistants, those are the guys that spend most of the time with the players. So look at the head coach. It's one thing, but you better have assistants that buy in, not just players, assistants that buy into you and put that time in. Because if you don't, I'm telling you what, every head coach I've ever been around, he's just about as good as the guys he hired and the players. The Jimmies and the Joes are so important, and that includes the coaches. I can get anybody to draw up an X and O. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to do that, how to attack something. But in game time, real time, and doing it and having that moxie to do that, you better hire good ones. You better take your ego out of hiring. You better hire coaches and people around you expect to be in position to take that job, not from you, but another head coach. And if you get those kind of guys and loyal guys, you'll always have a chance. Yeah, New York's a good job because, well, it's New York. And if you win, you'll never, ever have to pay for anything again in your life. If you lose, you'll be out of a job in about 2 years. So you know what you get when you cross those lines in New York.
Sean Salisbury with us as we look at this season so far. I want to get into a micro question, then a macro later on from the day-to-day. Can you help me with the Buffalo Bills, dude? Not only do they lose to the Dolphins, who probably should have fired Mike about 6 weeks ago, but they're not gonna. Fine. not only do they get blown out by the Dolphins, but they get shut out for the first 3 quarters by the Dolphins. I thought these Bills were, along with the Chiefs, the AFC favorites, and they still may be, but what the hell is going on with them?
Yeah, and at the beginning of the year, I picked them to go and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I felt like Josh Allen. I did, and I'm with you. But think about the league. New Orleans goes in and plays well against Carolina. New Orleans couldn't beat us 3.
Right.
Okay. Atlanta beat Buffalo early in the season. I mean, and then Buffalo goes. But you look at Buffalo's wins, aside from what the Chiefs win in Buffalo.
Yeah.
They've got no quality wins.
That's right.
So I hate to say this, they're overrated. Now Cook's a really good player. If Josh Allen does not play really good football, they can't win. I'm talking about big consistently. Now look around the league. There's times when Kansas City's offense, the last 2 years has struggled. They're back at getting after it some now. I mean, they're better. But think about it, defense carried them. Even if Mahomes was 16 of 24 for 179 yards, they just found ways. I'm not sure Buffalo can do that, even with Cook and Allen. They have got to play great. Their defense has not been the same. I mean, they're good, but you can score on them, as we saw. Miami's got no ounce of physicality, and they actually whooped them physically in that game. Another team you look at and say, that coach survived that, but they're not any good. And watch, they'll go get beat by 20 this week, and I don't even know who they play, meaning Miami. So, and look around. Baltimore, they're a game out now.
Yeah.
That they're turning into, look out for them. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, now we look at them and say that they have 0 weapons. I mean, they went and where's their weapons? They can't get anything done, and Rodgers is playing blah. So it's a crazy league. If I was a futures guy, which I am on betting, I would not. I would change my bet on the Buffalo Bills because that's such an onus and pressure to put on one cat to carry him. But you tell me, without him, no disrespect to Mitch Trubisky, where that team's going. So that's a lot. And you say, well, Sean, isn't that the case with the Rams? Maybe. But that team seems to sort of look at the 49ers, even though they got beat by the Rams pretty handily. Look what they've done with all the injuries. They've survived it, and they can hang around. I'm not sure Buffalo can. So, yeah, I can't, Dave. I'd love to. I take a step back and say why, but sometimes the why is just simply an execution, and maybe it's got to the point where they say, well, we're just going to put it in that big fella's hands, and he'll go win us games. But if he's not playing great, Buffalo becomes pretty average. The New England Patriots are playing more consistent and better than anybody in the AFC. Right now, if you said, who's the two best, that's the Colts included, the way that the New England's playing, they're not as explosive as the Colts. You give me New England and you give me the Rams, you'd be hard-pressed to find 2 teams playing consistently better. And both quarterbacks should be 1 and 2, sans Jonathan Taylor for the MVP. And I'm speaking of Drake, obviously Matt Stafford and Drake May. And they both spin it about as well as anybody in the league.
Sean, I'm guilty of this probably when I'm thinking about teams and projections, and as the year goes on, I go, at the end, I've seen Kansas City do it to some extent, certainly Buffalo and Baltimore, but the teams you just mentioned, whether it's the Colts, New England, or let's throw in Denver, have they surpassed those other teams, or do we need to see it a little bit more of them?
Now, who'd you say passed those teams? Who was it?
Was it Denver, Indianapolis, and New England? Did they pass kind of the traditional AFC teams of the Chiefs, Baltimore, and Buffalo?
I'm not saying I don't put them past them. When we say what 8-2 teams are 10 games in now, so we kind of know who teams are. Yet then the January hits. And that team in Kansas City, we always say, well, they just differently when January hits. That's the unique thing about football. Like in basketball, if they're going, like last year, Oklahoma City was the best team all year long. And in the right, they just were. And you can kind of see that in baseball. We know who they are, but damn, 4 weeks ago, Baltimore was left for dead. Now they've got a legitimate chance. I mean, when the season started, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals, they're going to set records offensively. He's now practicing again. They can't play. So you look around. Do I think they've caught them and passed them? No. Because if I ask you right now, New England against Kansas City, even if they're playing New England and it's January 20th, who are you picking?
Chiefs.
Yeah. So am I. So until we see difference. So we're going to say this, but when those teams like Baltimore, even though Baltimore and Buffalo haven't closed it out, right now if I said it's Lamar versus Drake May, and this is not to be disrespectful, but I think it's almost like we do need to see more, even though we've seen 10, 11 weeks of it. And Mike Vrabel's history as head coach pretty damn good. big mistake by Tennessee, even when they were struggling. They didn't have any players. If I said it's Lamar Jackson versus Drake May's team and it's January, even though Baltimore has not closed the door, you're probably picking Baltimore until New England proves with the young that they can do it. And they don't have a lot of weapons, but they're utilizing them efficiently offensively. So, yeah, while our perception is, man, these teams are upstart, but right now you're still taking Kansas City over the Colts in the playoffs.
Yep.
You just are today, even if, whether the record says they'd be in or not, but if you're asking if the gap's closed on just pure consistency, and if you were Kansas City and Buffalo and Baltimore, are you taking major notice to a team like the Colts or a team like the New England Patriots? You're damn right you are, because they're doing everything right, and consistency and believability does matter in this league. So the gap's closed. It's no longer, hey, the Chiefs are dominant, everybody else stand in line. You're going to have to go through them and their building to go beat them. Yet, even if Kansas City just barely gets in, we still trust them to go on the road and win, probably more than the others, even though the others' consistency this year has earned it. I'm trying to just judge these teams based on this year, because last year doesn't mean a hill of beans. But I do know that teams like Kansas City, when they get in, are just a little bit different than the rest of the teams. You're hoping that somehow they stub their toe for 3 more weeks, and you can keep them out, because if they get in, they're as dangerous as anybody, as we well know.
As always, when we wrap up with Sean Salisbury during the holidays, we like to finish with the award-winning game show. Is this a real or fake Hallmark holiday movie? Sean, last week I believe you went 3-1. Are you ready for another quick round?
I am.
Okay. These are the plot lines. You just tell me whether or not it's real or fake. Last week we did titles. A girl asks for a boyfriend for Christmas when she's 13. 20 years later, a mysterious man appears claiming to be her Christmas gift.
Yes.
He's seen it.
That is correct.
Yes.
He didn't even need to fill in them anymore.
You can't. You can't. Not even if I didn't know, because they come out of nowhere. All of a sudden, this guy comes down. It's like 20 years ago. I've seen it. I've seen the movie. Not only that, you can't make up a story like that without it being real. So yes.
All right, want to know? Question 2. A grumpy college student's flight home for Christmas break is canceled. She ends up staying with her professor and falls in love with his son. Through him, she learns the true meaning of Christmas.
Fact.
That is fake. That is a fake Christmas.
You know why? The only reason I said it was off, but I should have caught on to it's Hallmark. They like to do, it's nothing. They don't do a lot of shady stuff. When you said she stays with the professor, falls in love with the kid, I should have known then. Yeah, that's a little too immoral to start. Right. I should have known then. I was going to say, I haven't need it, but I've sure thought about it a few times. I'm sure.
All right, 1-1 for the day. 2 more. 2 police detectives pose as a married couple to investigate a series of robberies, only for them to be swept up in the Christmas spirit and also fall in love with each other.
Amen. Yes.
That is correct. That is a real Hallmark movie. He is 2-1. And finally, for the second straight week to go 3-1. After rescuing a stranded reindeer, 2 animal rehabilitators learn that it's one of Santa's flying reindeer and must deliver it to the North Pole before Christmas. Along the way, they fall in love, naturally.
No, that's false.
That is also correct. Sean Salisbury, 6-2, 2 consecutive 3-1s. Congratulations.
I'm not so sure that I'm supposed to say thank you for congratulations that I'm dominating a Hallmark movie channel. Okay.
Hey, there's always
I haven't been 6-2 in a long time.
Hidden talent.
I'll take it though. I'll take it. Can I get a futures bet on my ability to crush? I know Kalshi's got to have that in there. Hey, Hallmark movies. Is this an inning? If that's the case, I am the king. That's for sure.
Put this on your coaching and or general manager resume as well. You mean professional Hallmark movie expert.
While I just walked into my office, here's a readjustment to the resume. So if you want that, I'm in, brother. I'm going to add it to the lower part, miscellaneous resume crap, right? There you go.
See you next week, brother.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
Sean Salisbury. And another edition of Is This a Real or Fake Hallmark Movie? He's excellent. Yeah. He's really good at these, and he knew.
I thought the third one was fake, and he was right.
I 100% thought it was fake. Also, I thought the one where it was like, when a girl is 13, like, that is kind of creepy. I mean, it was 20 years later the boyfriend was introduced.
He saw it.
He saw it right away. We'll take a break when we come back. Four down territory. Who's your top? Who's your bottom in the NFL? Brian Dayball. And Thursday night football and Monday night football of the future. We'll talk about it next.
The Kings play here, baby.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Crank up the mid.
David, are you here?
I'm right here.
Can you hear me?
I'm here. Gosh. Campeo has a good memory. Says, hey, remember when, this still is, this is top 5 moments in my career, I'm not going to lie. When it was Katie Christensen's last day, and Sean and I got together and staged our fight. Kyle, you ever hear that?
I've never heard the story.
I think it's back in, well, it's a long story, but I think it's on YouTube somewhere. I'll have to look for it. Yeah, Katie's last day on the morning show, and Sean was a regular guest back then. And I decided, my favorite thing about working with Katie, well, number one, she used to bring food in all the time. Number two, she's, and I say this in the most loving way, she's maybe the most gullible person I've ever met. She's very trusting. So we had her convinced one time that Dave Yeager actually made the cover of GQ. Somebody doctored that up. And then we had Yeager on to kind of push the prank on her.
So Yeager was in on it.
Oh, Yeager was 100% in on it. Absolutely. It started with, I forget who, but somebody.
He was the Meister.
He was the Jägermeister. That's well done. One of our loyal listeners actually doctored up a GQ cover with Dave Yeager. It was the year he came into camp and he had lost a significant amount of weight. He was all, gussied up, nice suits and stuff. You could tell he'd been working on himself in the offseason.
Back when the coaches wore suits.
Back when the coaches did wear suits. Somebody put him on the cover of GQ using the Photoshop. And
Katie believed that
he made the cover. Yeah, because the headline was something like, NBA coaches love fashion, or I don't know, whatever. And so
she thought Dave Yeager was going to make the cover.
Well, because
it looked good.
It looked like, had I not known, I would have thought, like, it looked like a legit.
I mean, this was probably, 2015?
Somewhere in there, yeah, I can't find it. Someone I'm sure will send it to me. But anyways, we had her convinced that he was on the cover, and then we had him come on and kind of play it up and all that. It was a great prank, but nowhere near as good as when in her last week, it was her last visit with Sean. I decided to, and Sean, to his credit, was so into it. Hey, let's play a prank on Katie. Let's just get into like a massive argument. Like, I'm going to go in on your history on ESPN and how you got fired and, like no holds barred, dude. Just, we can't swear, but like, call me a 2-bit small time rate. There's, we love each other. Let's just have some fun. So, dude, like, I'm almost uncomfortable listening back to it. And I was in on it because he did such a good job. And dare I say, I did a great job. We legit were going at, and Katie's sitting there like, guys, come on, guys. Like, she's trying to play peacemaker. Guys, and at the end of one point, she says, like, guys, I almost want to leave her at, like, please, I love you both. Like, she's freaking out. And then I don't remember what the ending was, but I think I said something like, and Sean, the one thing I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to forgive you for is being in on this amazing prank on Katie, and we both start laughing. And the best part, I just remembered, I always forget this part, is that one of the tryouts we had to replace Katie was Scott Pollard. And so Scott Pollard was on via remote from, I think, Indiana. And for some reason, I forget it was on the board, but they had him leveled up way too much. So I'll have to play it sometime. You hear us like laughing, and then all of a sudden you hear Scott go, ah! It's just completely
in with his...
right, roaring out of nowhere.
Just background noise.
So, anyways, love you, Katie. That was fun. 4-down territory.
Let's do it.
First down, Kyle.
All right, first down. Who are your top 5 teams in the NFL?
All right, starting from the bottom, and remember, as always, this has nothing to do with last year and everything to do with what we've seen so far this season. At number 5, the Seattle Seahawks. Number 4, the Denver Broncos. Number 3, the Indianapolis Colts. Number 2, the New England Patriots. And the number 1 team in my poll, in my power ranking, the defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. But hear me out. Not only do they have the 7-2 record, but I took a look at all the top 5 schedules, and you can only play who's in front of you. The Eagles have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. They beat the Rams. They beat the Buccaneers on the road. They beat the Vikings on the road, and last night they went into Lambeau and beat the Packers. I don't think there's another team with that many quality wins. So, yes, they're the defending champs, but also based on record alone this year, they're my number one team right now.
Okay, well, we have the same 5, just in a different order. Well, some of them in a different order. At number 5, I too have Seattle. At number 4, I have New England. At number 3, I actually put Philadelphia. At number 2, I put Indy. And number 1, for the second straight week for me, I have the Denver Broncos.
Oh, number 1, the Broncos.
I do.
There's a guy that follows me that absolutely hates the Broncos and Bo Nix, and he has Bo Nix on his fantasy team, and he's convinced that he is absolutely a complete and total fraud. Number 2.
Second down. Who are your bottom 5 teams in the NFL?
So we're going to go from 5th worst to worst. At number 5, the 5th worst team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns, got a win over the weekend. As did my number 4 worst team, the New York Jets. The Brian Daboll, Cam Scattaboulos, for different reasons, New York Giants come in at the 3rd worst. The 2nd worst, sorry guys, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the worst team for me in the NFL, I think, for the 2nd straight year. The one, the only, Tennessee Titans.
How did the Browns and Jets both win? They played each other.
Oh, yeah, the Jets won.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant the Browns got a win earlier, the week before or something.
All right, I am going to put the Raiders in as the 5th worst team. I have the Jets as the 4th worst team. I have the Saints. I know they got to win this week, but I'm putting this. It's just been a rough team. Then the Browns, and the worst team, just like you, I have the Tennessee Titans.
Hey, look at us in lockstep.
Yeah.
3rd down.
Brian Daboll was fired by the Giants yesterday. Was this a surprise?
It was not in the sense of like Brian Daboll's a super stud, but weird timing. Like what are they hoping to do? What are they going to accomplish? I mean, he must have just flat lost the locker room, or there must have been something imminent. And now there's rumors which Sean McDonough shut down yesterday. We'll see if that holds up. Sean McDonough, the coach of the Buffalo Bills, who just had a loss over the weekend.
I think that's the hockey commentator.
Oh, I thought that was Will McDonough. Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott. Thank you, Kyle.
His son, yeah.
That's a good point right there. So, anyways, that guy, the coach of the Bills, said that was asked, understandably, Brian Daboll got his job based on being the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. And so they have been struggling offensively. The question was, hey, would you, bring Daboll back? And dude said, yeah, it ain't happening, but I understand why you asked. So Brian Daboll probably will be with the Bills in the next 2 weeks.
Based on that smoke
Based
screen.
on that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was fair. Look, he had a long time. I think there was maybe times earlier it thought it would happen. He was hitching his wagon basically to Jackson Dart and being the quarterback. He put him in harm's way, though. He called a designed run for him, the play that he got concussed and knocked out of the game. So I think it was a matter of time, and his time was up.
His time was up. Well, happy trails, Brian. 4th down, please.
4th down. Thursday Night Football this week is Jets-Patriots, and Monday Night Football is Cowboys-Raiders. Did the league miss on this, or is this still a case of it's just the NFL and it won't matter?
It's the NFL. Doesn't matter. It will be watched. You could put the Jets and the Jets practice team on Monday Night Football or whatever, or Thursday Night Football. People are going to watch. But I think the answer, Jason, honestly, is both. Like, they could have done better, but also everyone's going to watch.
It's foolproof, right? It's the NFL.
It is the NFL. There you go. There's the picture. Show Kyle, because he hasn't seen it. There's the picture, Kyle, of Dave Yeager. And then if you want to control the volume here, we'll just do this for a minute. I did find the sound. Here is, and again, this will probably be loud at first. This is, I'm going to try to find the very tail end.
So, Jason, is Yeager photoshopped face, or that's Yeager's actual body?
Well, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
My God, I love you, brother.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me go back a little bit. Okay.
I played a gay man in a movie.
Nope. Although that's kind
wow.
of
Sean, honestly, Sean, I'll tell you what. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's one thing, since we're going to let's do this on our last day. There's one thing that I'm sure we could both agree on.
No, this is me giving it away.
You know,
there we go. Here we go. I'll just let it roll.
When you knew I was having neck surgery, and you're in what are you in market 220?
Wow.
You can't
right.
find a host?
Remember that time I got fired from ESPN, Sean?
Yeah, you remember? Hey, thanks for the
Stop!
support,
Hey,
buddy.
stop
Yeah.
it, you
that
guys!
picture,
Come on.
That picture I sent out, your wife gets it. Okay.
You know what, Sean? You're being way oversensitive right now. That was a comment.
Dude, you know what I've been through, man, and I sit here and go to the ends of the earth for you on Katie's last day, and I got to put up with this crap.
Wow,
I can't even
yeah.
say bye to her.
We've never done anything nice for you, Sean. No, we don't give you exposure. We didn't have you on.
Come on, you guys.
Ridiculous. Well, Katie, you know what, Dave, you're a joke. Okay?
You know what?
You're
You can't take a joke, Sean.
What are you going to do? The radio show by yourself for the next 6 months?
I know I won't do it with you because I couldn't count on you to show up every day when we podcasted together.
Oh, come on, please, you guys. This is
Hey, Sean, honestly, Sean, I'll tell you what.
necessary.
Correct me if I'm wrong. There's one thing, since we're going to let's do this on our last day. There's one thing that I'm sure we could both agree on, and maybe I'm wrong here because I can't get into your weird-ass head.
Here he comes.
Is that
my weird-ass head?
There's one thing we can both agree on. You correct me if I'm wrong.
Better hurry before I hang up on you, dude. I've had enough.
And that's that she's just absolutely one of the most gullible people I've ever met in my life. And it's
Oh my God, Dave! This is not funny, Sean.
Katie, hey.
Pollard scared me.
He did. Pollard scared me,
Pollard
too.
was coming.
I forgot about it.
I forgot Pollard was coming at the end. That was great.
One of the great moments. We'll take a break. Oh, God.
That was uncomfortable.
Wasn't it, though?
And I was uncomfortable for Katie being uncomfortable.
Exactly. It was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But maybe the best prank we've ever pulled on Katie. When we come back, what's hot, and 3 in the key for Kings and Nuggets tonight, right here on your home of made-up arguments. Like, I could never do that with you, Jason. I would not be. I would probably start crying in the middle of it. Why? What are you saying? No. Okay. Sactown Sports, we're right back.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets.
Tip off at 8, your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Is Sactown Sports 1140.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Footballs are flying, the days are getting shorter, fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter, so who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Staples presents An Easy Holiday.
Running a small business during the holidays is hard.
No truer words were...
But this year, Staples helped me have an easy holiday.
Your script has a typo.
Nope, easy peasy. I just ordered online at staples.com and picked up in store. And with UPS on site, shipping was easy too. Plus, huge savings on tech, custom cards, even my holiday sales signage.
Visit your local Staples store or staples.com today for up to 45% off select laptops.
That was easy.
Ends 12/27.
At Bank of America, we're proud that more than 20,000 veterans and people with military backgrounds have joined our ranks since 2015. Now we're committed to adding 10,000 more over the next 5 years. By helping veterans achieve their career goals, we're moving from appreciation to action. And together, helping expand economic opportunity across America. Visit bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way.
That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's hot, what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Home Pros, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergy.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Is hot.
Who's hot? How about Nick
Kurtz?
Yes, the American League unanimous Rookie of the Year from your West Sacramento Athletics, formerly of Oakland, headed to Las Vegas of Anaheim. Nick Kurtz finished the season with 36 home runs, 86 RBIs, a 1,002 OPS. One of my favorite stats, he had a higher wins above replacement than the Athletics' entire pitching staff this season.
Wow.
Maybe he should have pitched.
Maybe he should have. By the way, you know who is got almost 200 votes in? Today's poll question put up by Kyle the Ledbetter is how will the Kings do tonight on NBC against the Denver Nuggets?
Okay.
A, Kings win by 10+. B, Kings win by 1 to 9 points. C, Nuggets win by 1 to 9. D, Nuggets win by 10 points at 57%. Nuggets win by 10 points. Second, Nuggets win by 1 to 9 points. It's 20%. So 77% of our fans believe the Nuggets will win tonight. 15% say the Kings will win by 1 to 9. 8% say the Kings will blow them out.
Wow. Okay.
How about that? Okay, well, who's not?
Who's not?
Who's not?
How about Nico Harrison? Wah, wah. Fired by the Dallas Mavericks this morning. And when I heard the news, I kind of thought to myself, because Nico will never work in the NBA again. I feel pretty confident he will never, ever work in the NBA ever again. But I thought about, what is Nico Harrison's legacy? And so I went and pulled up Nico Harrison's Wikipedia page. And just these are the sections that they have on here. Introduction, 2 paragraphs. Early life, just 1 paragraph. Personal life, just 1 paragraph. His college basketball career got 2 paragraphs. Apparently he played for Montana State for a bunch of years. Professional basketball career, 1 paragraph. His Nike career, 2 paragraphs. The incredible story about him and Steph Curry, about him botching the pitch that I know Dave loves so much, that only got 1 paragraph. His first 3 years with the Mavericks got 2 paragraphs. The Luka Doncic trade got 7 paragraphs on his Wikipedia page, which is hilarious. Luka trade will be Nico Harrison's legacy, and that is kind of unfortunate, but he did it to himself.
By the way, I found out I couldn't remember who did the Dave Yeager Photoshop that we love so much in the previous segment. That was longtime listener Ryan Coda.
Yeah.
He's very mad at me right now. He hasn't been around in a while. He's mad. He's mad. He unfriended me on Facebook. Nah, it's serious. So, yes, full credit to Ryan for putting that Photoshop together. It's an excellent Photoshop.
I mean, back to the point with Katie. I mean, she believed that they would have picked Dave Yeager for a Coach's GQ cover over...
Why do you say it? I mean, look, let's just be honest. That's a great photo of him. He looks like if you're doing a thing on, it's the spring style issue, and it says Dave Yeager, the coach we all want to follow. Like, if you're doing a thing on, like, fashionable coaches, you could do a lot worse than this picture. Who are you going to put in? You know, back in this time, you're going to put Greg Papa in some Versace? Like, come on. Popovich, Jesus.
Greg Papa, Jesus.
God. You're going to put Eric. I mean, I guess Spoelstra would be a candidate.
I mean, I've got the list here. You wouldn't want such good-looking coaches as Terry Stotts for your GQ cover?
Hey, you know what? This sounds like it's getting mean-spirited, and I'm not here for it.
Wait, you don't want Derek Fisher?
Why not?
Stotts' style.
I'm making the point. You want Derek Fisher
Fisher's
over
fits.
Dave Yeager?
Maybe, yeah.
Kevin McHale, coach of the Rockets?
What did you say?
I said Fisher's fits.
Fisher's
and
fits.
Stotts'
Stotts styles.
You're saying you wouldn't want Fred Hoiberg on the cover of your GQ?
Hoiberg's handkerchiefs.
Fred's fashions.
That was better.
Mike Budenholzer.
By the way, Stotts and Styles coming up 10 to 2. Bud Studs, you're stupid. That got me.
You got one for Scott Skiles?
Styles,
yeah.
derp.
Also from 10 to 2.
Yeah, also from 10 to 2. All right, here we go with 3 in the key for your Kings. Our chat says there is a 77% chance of the Nuggets winning, but that's why you play the games. Kings are on NBC for the first time in like 30 years.
The music actually works.
Thank you. Yes, it does.
First category, Dave, for you, me, and Kyle. We are looking at the big men tonight. The Joker's points, assists, and points, rebounds, and assists, and Sabonis' points, rebounds, and assists.
I always love these matchups regardless.
Yeah.
It's always fun to watch these two. I will say the Joker, I think he is going to get a triple-double this time. Give me 31 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds for Joker. For Sabonis, give me 22, 18, and 4 assists.
Okay, I have for the Joker 34 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists. For Sabonis, 17 points, 14 rebounds, and also 4 assists. Kyle?
I will go with Sabonis, 18, 14, and 7. For Jokic, I will go with 35 points, 22 rebounds, and 17 assists. Which is the stat line he literally had last year against the Kings.
By the way, I saw a clip yesterday. I don't know where it was from, but the Morris twins were basically saying that if they matched up against the Jokic brothers, that they would beat the hell out of them. Now, let me just say for the record, I would lose to any of them incredibly quickly. I'm taking the Jokic brothers, dude. I'm sorry. No disrespect, Morris twins. The Jokic brothers, like, I could see Nikola Jokic retiring and he and his brothers, like, becoming action movie stars. And just, like, everything is just, they're either the good guys foiling the plot or they're the bad guys that win in the end. I'm not messing with not that I would mess with the Morris twins. I ain't messing with the Jokic brothers. I put them at minus 330 favorites.
They said they would take them out?
Yeah.
Why would you even want that?
Right. Even if they did, it's going to hurt a lot.
Like, I remember they had that beef years ago, but, like, the only thing I know about the Jokic brothers is that they threw knives at Nikola.
Hey, well, look, now that they're retired, speaking of, maybe Morris Brothers beef. They go into another business, selling T-bones and New York strips, make some money.
Yeah.
Maybe go into business with the Jokic brothers. Jokic and Morris beefs. Beeves?
They have the beats.
The beats?
I thought he was into horses.
Yeah, well, horse. The other red meat? I don't know. Ew.
Lean meat.
Nay.
Nay is right. Question 2.
Question 2 is, who will have the last points or point of the game? Which player?
Yeah, I don't, this isn't going to be a fun answer. Let me see here. I think that
And it could be a nugget.
It could. You know what? I'm going to give it to Doug McDermott.
McDermott, I don't even know if he's played yet.
He is not.
I think he's gonna enter and play and get the last point.
Okay, I have it being Jamal Murray.
That's actually. I hope you're right because that probably means it's a close game. So there you go.
Kyle?
Nick Clifford.
And the last one, Dave, is random stats.
I'm going all in.
Okay.
Doug McDermott makes his first appearance tonight and scores.
Scores, too. Scores in first appearance.
Yeah.
All right. Mine is Nick Clifford will have a new career high.
Do we know what that is?
Is it
10,
7?
I think?
Why do I feel like he had 16?
I don't believe so in the regular season.
No, I'm sure you're right. Let me look.
I'm not sure I'm right. I think it's 10.
I'm going to say I'm sure you're right.
Or is it 8?
Jason, we're both wrong. Golden State. In the 121-116 victory, Nick Clifford was 4 of 8, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, hit a free throw with 12 points.
Oh, so new career high, more than 12.
Greater than signed 12.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
My pick will be Jokic is going to make another 65-foot baseball pass at the buzzer like he did last year.
I hope you're wrong, though entertaining.
It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen on a basketball court.
Did you see the one that years ago where he punched it and it almost went in?
Yeah.
That was almost the greatest thing I've ever seen. He's a wizard, Harry. We'll take a break. When we come back, top of the hour for you. The Kings at 9 a.m., but the Kings at 10 games into the season. Now, we've talked a lot today about rebuilding and where we think the Kings are going and all that, which, by the way, is getting aggregated the hell out of right now on the social medias. I always worry about that. Not just because, you don't want to be taken out of context.
Well, you said it.
I did say it, so keep it in context. Best, worst, likes, no likes. How do you see the next 10 going? We'll do that next.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Eric Church is back and bringing his unforgettable live show to Sacramento. Eric Church Free the Machine Tour with special guest Charles Wesley Godwin. Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss. Eric Church Free the Machine Tour. Live at Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now. For more, visit ericchurch.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip, if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
KHD-KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom!
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't! Yes, he did!
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Yep. What do we do, Bob? Let's do it. Let's get busy. Then again, 8 p.m. start. It's already nice living in Hawaii if you do.
Oh.
Saying they're making that point on the chat. How nice is that? Nice 5 p.m. start for the Kings. That's got to be weird. You got everything.
Hawaii's the worst for sports, right?
Right. 4 p.m. start.
West Coast is the best. The West Coast.
Couldn't agree with you more. I've had this argument with a few East Coast fans, even specifically about football. Like West Coast, it's perfect. You get up, you have enough time to get breakfast.
Yeah, I think they think that's weird. Like football's not till 1. I'm like, that's weird. It's great.
Yeah, because you start at 1 p.m., then 4 p.m., and then what, 9 p.m., 8 p.m.?
8 something for the Sunday night game.
No, thank you. Give me 10 a.m. right out the gate. Nice time for a nice breakfast. Maybe go grab a breakfast burrito from your local taqueria. Maybe make pancakes. Whatever you're going to do. Then you watch the first game. Maybe throw some meat on the grill to smoke so it's ready to go. Then you got the afternoon game. Then you've got the break for dinner.
Right.
Before Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football's over.
You haven't eaten enough yet.
You haven't eaten enough yet. And right around 8:30, 9 p.m., your football day is done. You got the whole day. Your whole awake time is football.
They get a little taste of that with the London or Germany games. You know what I mean? Like
yes.
6 o'clock here, 9 o'clock there, or 9:30, whatever it is.
Dude, trying to watch football, it's a different experience watching our football in England because when I'm over there, I try my best. And you've got, so your 10 a.m. games are 6 p.m. starts. Then your 1 p.m. games are 9 p.m. starts. That to me is a big reason why the NFL has been catching on more and more out there, because it's actually more accessible to Europe for viewing, because you're not watching Sunday Night Football. I mean, almost certainly you're not watching, because I think that's a 1 a.m. start or something, 1, 2, 8. You're not watching Sunday Night, but you can watch the bulk of the games. You're just going to miss Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night footballs, whereas basketball over there, even the East Coast games, dude, started, I think, midnight. Yeah, midnight. It's tough, dude. What was I going to say? The Kings. There was one other thing that I can't speak to, Jason. I don't know that anybody can. When we're talking about the first 10 Kings games, okay, I'm just going to skip through and say, well, one of the questions here is, what have you not liked so far? I think maybe if you gave a bunch of choices to the audience, other than they haven't won a lot, but specifically it would be Keon Ellis's minutes. And maybe up there's a lot of people, you and I have spoken before about, hey, you know what, just start Russ Westbrook. Dennis is struggling. Just put Russ out there.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. I think My educated guess is I fully understand, and I am a part of the group that always worries about prying hands. And I'm not just talking about ownership, which is the classic one, but I'm GM, this and that. Here's how I think the setup is over there. I truly do. It's everybody's being evaluated right now.
Mm-hmm.
Players and coaches, and Doug Christie specifically. Doug is a rookie coach who has, let's be honest, had a relatively meteoric rise. Now, you may say, and you're probably right, Doug's not getting a head coaching job anywhere else. This was a very special situation. And I agree with you. But he's had a very quick rise. Like, he was doing afternoons here like 20 minutes ago, and now he's risen through, and he's the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. I think he's 100% being evaluated. So feel how you want about Russ not starting. Feel how you want about the other one, Keon Ellis. Thank you. Sorry, I was daydreaming. But I think these are Doug's. I do not think that's influence from above. I think it's Doug's decisions, right or wrong. He and his, and when I say Doug, I mean the coaching staff. I think they're making the decision. I think Scott's weighing in. I think the front. This is universal.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately these are Doug's decisions, and I think from a front office standpoint, it's, look, if we tell Doug who to start or who to sit, first off, that's weird. Secondly, he needs to have autonomy. He's not worried about all this rebuild, whatever crap going on above him. Doug's trying to win games, and the players are trying to win games. They don't care about any of this other crap. So how can you evaluate a coach when he's being told what to do? And if it works, well, it was the people that told him to do it. If it doesn't work, well, how the hell are you going to blame him? So I think if we want to blame or praise rotations and minutes this year, Doug's been given the roster he's been given. He can't do anything about that. But I think when it comes to rotations, I think the coaching staff has 100% control over that.
Yeah, I think it goes back to why we talked about the value of trading for multiple reasons anyway. Once they elect to do that, one, you're changing the roster construction a little bit, whether it's one piece or two or multiples here. The other part is it can alleviate some of that. There literally is a logjam.
Yes.
And I think if we substitute, like for tonight, just for example, as a night, let's say that Keon Ellis plays 25 minutes.
Right.
We will be talking tomorrow, Dave, about a different guard that will go, why didn't this guard play as much? They have too many.
Right.
So there's not going to be a balance where Schroeder, Westbrook, Levine, Ellis, Carter, Monk are all go, yeah, I'm good. They all played the right amount. Like I think Carter's obviously the furthest one out, but it's impossible. So
yeah,
they certainly could play him more or in different times, but then it's going to be at someone else's expense. So I think by making a trade at some point, you're also going to help in that logjam.
Well, and look, and Russ FC, if you're listening, do not. I had somebody from the Russ fan club on Twitter the other day, and that clip where you and I are talking about him starting. There was actually somebody, this is literally a comment, who was like, why are they saying it in such a low tone, dude? Like, you should be screaming it. I'm like, oh, well, okay.
It's more impactful if we scream it.
Right, exactly. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if this is necessary. I'm just trying to find reasons, whether anyone agrees with it or not, as to why they might not start Russ. Is there a thought that maybe, am I high if I say, I don't know, are they trying to like preserve him? Are they trying to be aware of his age and trying to not injure him or overplay him for the year? Are they thinking maybe he's going to play a bigger role down the line? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm spitballing.
I think the best one would be Russ with the second unit. That's my best rationale behind it. But I think you could say the same thing. What about Schroeder with the second
That's
unit?
what we talked about yesterday.
What about like when there was always Malik Monk should be starting? Malik Monk is good enough to be a starter. Mm-hmm. He's been a great bench player.
Yes.
I mean, I think, again, they're in a – and we get to politics too. There's some of that. But if this is Doug's decision, all Doug, which we believe it is, then – hopefully politics are removed from that. I mean, he didn't sign the contract for Schroeder versus the contract versus Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
So
he did.
Doug's there to try to win games. I mean, there's it's also 10 games. You got to give it a little time to see how it'll all shake out. But I'm saying when Keegan comes back it just presents another body that will play, and it's going to hurt more even in the minutes department for a lot of people.
I want to throw this out. You mentioned Malik Monk as well. Malik Monk's splits are currently 52, 48.6, and 89. He's playing 24.5 minutes a game, averaging 14.5 points, a little under 2 boards, a little over 2 assists, with a steal, a half a block, and just 1 turnover. Jason, so far this season, if you count the whole picture, efficiency on top of everything else, I think Malik might be having a career year. So in 10 games, he's probably, like Russ, I think is the biggest surprise bright spot to a lot of people. Malik's having a very efficient, very phenomenal year so far. And by the way, to your point, Russell Westbrook is averaging 28 minutes a game. Dennis Schroeder is averaging exactly 3.6 more minutes per game. So they're very, very even. But I think you and I are in lockstep on, hey, look, the way we've seen it play out, why not just let that energy start with Russ? The fans, by the way, you're also, there's an entertainment factor.
Right.
And
rock the baby.
Right. Just let him. Politics shouldn't matter. Let him cook. And he's on a minimum deal.
Yeah.
So, well, we just kind of covered this a little bit, I guess. But what would you say, you have to pick one thing. What do you like the most this season?
Well, and I don't want to say be persuaded or swayed. Is swayed a word?
Mm-hmm.
Why did it feel like swayed is a word?
As opposed to well, it's like, what is it? To clamor? Like everyone's clamoring?
Yeah.
Like
suede is leather.
Yeah, but also he's saying SUADE isn't, persuaded.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't want to be impacted by the last 2 games.
Sure.
Because before that, I would say my favorite thing is honestly has been their compete level. And that doesn't mean, obviously 3 wins isn't enough for anybody to be happy about being 3-7. But I was looking at it going, you know what, these guys have this ability. There's some of the games I go, I don't even feel like they're playing very well, but they're down 7.
Right.
How are they in this game? And then by the end, you're like, they made this a game. Now, the last 2, I can't ignore, but I would say 8 out of the 10 games, I felt like, all right, there's a good compete level. Roster, there's flaws all over it, all over the roster construction.
Yes.
But despite the flaws, I like the compete level, and you have to have that. That should be a non-negotiable.
Yes.
And if you do that, look, you're not going to win every game.
Yes.
But you can be in games, and that's what they were in, with the obvious exception of the last 2. So I'm going to say, as a blanket statement, taking the whole 10, I would think that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's been a really good bright spot. If I'm trying to look for a separate one, we talked about Westbrook obviously over and over.
It's where you just said Monk's, having nice numbers. I think Levine's had pretty good numbers.
He really has.
Westbrook. So it's weird that there are some subtle positives, yet nobody's happy with 3-7 and just the collective way it's looked.
No, but fairly, the question is, you got to pick something you like. I'm not going to overthink it. Actually, I'm going to go right back to Westbrook. I think Westbrook was a signing. I think the majority of the fan base was uncertain with, and for me, in a year, as we've been talking about at length today, where this team is almost certainly not going to do any playoffing or play-inning, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The fact that you have a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it, top whatever, very, very high point guard, I believe, and I said this last week, I understand that I'm putting my finger on the scale here, so everybody calm down. But I think if you just look statistically, and we're not talking titles or any of the important stuff, I think Russell Westbrook might be statistically the greatest point guard to ever play the game. His weaknesses, obviously, are his efficiency and his turnovers. You can't just look past that. But you're talking about a guy who is the number 1 point guard in history in rebounds.
Correct.
You're talking about he is on the cusp of being the highest scoring point guard in history. And I believe right now I saw he is 7th all time in assists. Now he's not gonna be number 1 or number 2 or probably even number 3, but you're talking about a guy who's going to be, before he retires, number 1 in points, number 1 in rebounds, also averaged a triple-double, I think 2, if not 3 years, was the first person since Oscar to do that, and he did it in the modern era, and he did it multiple times. So you have all these insane accolades for a guy that is, look, he's towards the end of his career. And he's in, I say this as a native Sacramentan, everybody, love my team, love my city. He's in Sacramento. He's not stupid. He and his agent know what's probably coming here or not coming here. And he's out there diving and hustling and playing defense and shutting down the freight train that is Giannis Antetokounmpo and telling Sabonis he'll take the foul because he doesn't want Sabonis to foul out and leading by example. And from what I understand, one of those first and last in the gym type of dudes, he's doing all this on a minimum deal, which would be a maximum deal for all of us, having made over $250 million. The dude was shooting baskets on his yacht in the offseason. That's how rich he is.
He has a yacht?
He has a yacht, I think, or he rented it, and it had a basketball hoop on it, and he was shooting baskets on this yacht in the offseason, and here he is playing in no chance in hell this year, Sacramento, and he's killing himself out there on the floor. And I think fans recognize that. I recognize it. I tip my cap. That has been my favorite thing this year so far.
I was looking up the numbers while you're saying it. I mean, where he is statistically, 20th all-time in scoring, 62nd all-time in rebounding. And, yeah, he's 8th in assists. But he's going to get – I mean, he's got more people. He's catching more people this year. He's going to hit more milestones.
Yeah, and the fact
he's going up.
And when you narrow that down to point guards, it's absolutely insane. So, again, for him to – this is the ultimate, like, for the love of the game. Like, he's just out here for the love of the game, and I respect that. I do. Look, would I rather have a younger developing point guard out there? Do I know that Russell Westbrook isn't part of the long-term plan? He's not going to be a long-term part of it. I understand the macro aspects of it and what we are and aren't going to get with Russ Westbrook. But so far, 10 games in, and who knows, maybe we're here in February going, oh, my God. Russ is just, he is 8 men out. He's Joe Jackson playing for an anonymous minor league team after being outcast from Major League Baseball because he just loves the damn game. That's what I think, except he's not in bare feet. but he's out there and he's just doing it for the pure love, and I love that. So what do you know likey so far?
The roster construction, I think. And again, this is a wider topic just because it's created some of their limitations. So defensively, they don't have a great interior defensive presence. They have lack of bigs. Keegan being out certainly hurts that. They have overload of guards. The veterans that they're playing are doing some good things offensively, but not defensively. So it leads to all of the inequities I think that they have on a night-to-night basis.
Yeah, no, I think that's number one. You went macro, and there's no argument from me that the roster construction is the worst part of this team. I think,
and the waiting game, because I think we know there's moves coming.
Yeah, this is tough.
So it's going to happen. Well, when? Mm-hmm. Tomorrow? Probably not.
No.
The next day? Probably not, but it's happening.
Well, I can tell you it ain't going to happen for at least another month plus.
Yeah.
December 15th.
Now, is it closer to the deadline? Is it, again, I think if you go track record, as you said earlier, Scott Perry overhauled the Knicks in basically 2 years that the whole roster was different.
Yes.
So we're not at 2 years. I mean, so to ask fans to wait is hard.
We're very new.
Yeah, but to be fair to a new front office, you have to do that. But it's just we've had a lot of those changes and turns and twists, and here we go again. But we're in the infancy of this. But yeah, I think those trades are coming. So waiting will be the difficult part.
And I agree with you, not just on that, because it really is about the what the fans are going through, what they're about to go through even more. And not having, we're trying to do what we can to read the smoke signals. And we've been trying to do this since summertime, really just prepping everybody for this. And now that we're getting closer and closer to actually seeing some of these things come to fruition, it's just another ringer for the fans to go through. But I do think in the long run, it's the right move. But I will say, so you went big picture, and I agree with you. I will say, and there's a lot of there's a lot of candidates here for thing you didn't enjoy the most. Specific thing. I will say I think the thing that bothers me the most is the shots I'm seeing taken at Doug. And it is a little personal, and I'm biased, of course. But this isn't because I've played golf with Doug or he's a neat guy or had those big giant grapes that were amazing that he got from Whole Foods. It's that we continually have seen, whether it's Vlade, whether it's Doug, Bobby Jackson to a point, you've got these Kings legends that are brought through. I still am not comfortable with the whole Vlade thing because you know this and I know this. These are undeniable facts. Vlade Divac is one of the greatest humans to ever walk the earth. He is an incredibly sweet man who is a great human and who loves this. He adores Sacramento. Now, I know everybody out there's like, yeah, that's great, Dave, but he didn't pick Luka and he traded this. You know what? But here's my point about it and what really gets me. Vlade was asked to be the general manager of the team, and he did the best he could as the general manager of the team with a lot of crap in his way. All he wanted was for this team to win a championship, and he did what he could. We can talk about his mistake. I'm not denying his mistakes, nor am I defending them. I'm saying Vlade was asked to do a job in which he certainly, was not equipped to do. He was not equipped to be an NBA general manager. He did the best he could. He didn't do that great. And now it's like I see Vlade's name sometimes used as a punchline or a pejorative. And with Doug, and I want to be careful saying this because I don't want to sound condescending to Doug, and I don't want to sound like I'm patronizing Doug. Doug might be the greatest NBA head coach of all time. I'm talking about if this doesn't work out. I'm talking specifically if we're sitting here in a year or two and Doug's been fired and the team has been terrible. Okay, that's the context here. Doug has raised his family here. He loves this city. He loves this team. He, just like Bobby, they want to win a title here so bad. Doug is working day and night to make this thing work. In the end, if it doesn't, I will firmly believe it's because Doug either wasn't ready, wasn't equipped, wasn't experienced enough, whatever you want to say, to be put in this position. And I think it's okay to say that. What I don't want to hear, what gets me is Doug's a such and such, Doug's a this, Doug's a that. Dude, he was asked to be the head coach of this team and presumably would not have that opportunity anywhere else. And it's basically, other than the Sonics, which don't exist, his hometown team. It's where he's raised his family. Of course he's going to say yes. He's busting his ass. Is he good? I don't know. And I think if we were betting, odds are Doug Christie, again, if we were betting, Vegas, not my opinion, if you ask Vegas, will Doug Christie be the head coach of the Sacramento Kings the season after next? I think he would be a heavy underdog. That's just what I think is a fact. I hope not. I hope he is. But I hope that Kings fans, and I'm not lecturing, this is my opinion. I hope we as a fan base can draw a line between like talking about the coach and talking about the human and the pillar of the community and the part of this town. It hurts me to see the shots these guys take. And I'm obviously a big purple dum-dum. But, it ain't for lack of effort, dude.
Right.
Or integrity or ethics or anything that goes with it. We'll take a break. When we come back, What's on Deck? Brought to you by Trex. I know it's pronounced Trex. I think it'd be kind of fun to pronounce it T-Rex because I'm going to go roar. Trex decking and railing, including a big game tonight with the Nuggets and Kings on NBC. All coming up right after this.
The Kings play here, baby! Tonight, Kings and Nuggets. Key night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 6:30 with tip-off at 8. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is going to be fun.
Yeah! It's time for What's on Deck, brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing.
All right, well, what's on deck tonight? Of course, you know that. Sacramento Kings basketball. Kings will be at home tonight, taking on the Denver Nuggets, matchup 2 of this early stretch. They still have another one next week. But that's not the only game that's on deck, which is brought to you by Trex Decking and Railing.
Only game we care about.
That's right.
And you love the start time.
It's fine. It's
You're
totally fine.
You're a trooper.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
But what time do you think you'll be getting out of there tonight?
My guess is 11:30, 11:45.
Now, will you... And look, I know champagne problems, everybody.
Yeah.
Jason's fine. But will you adjust the alarm tomorrow?
No.
No?
No.
Will you fit in a nap tomorrow?
I think it's honestly, now that I've done this enough, it's more important today.
Pre-nap?
Yeah.
As opposed to post-nap strategy.
Because I have found I can always do one day. Like if, whatever, stuff happens, life happens, like, whoa, I got X amount of hours of sleep. I'm tough. The day is tough, but I can get through the day. Like you had yesterday. You had that awful travel.
Yes.
It's like yesterday you did it.
I have conquered jet lag.
Yeah. But then it's important that night, last night, to get a good night's sleep, and you did. Pretty good night's sleep. So the worst part about, honestly, the 8 o'clock tonight is that there's back-to-back. Like if they didn't play Wednesday, it's like, all right, then I'll go to bed earlier on Wednesday night. And then, so I feel like today getting a nap before the game or during the day today will be very important. I won't get a lot of sleep tonight, and then I will try to get one tomorrow in as well. I actually got a couple things. We got even something here at work, and there's a couple other things I got going on, so I may not get one in.
Tomorrow. We also, because the Kings will then be off till Friday, they start their road trip. 1 p.m. Sunday game against San Antonio, by the way, down in Texas. 1 p. So there's a different.
Right during football.
Right during football, I know. And then 5 p.m. starts in Minnesota, Memphis, Oklahoma City. And then they finish up against Denver and then come home against Minnesota. And by the way, looking at this little gauntlet, you know what I've been kind of thinking about over the last couple of days? Phoenix has won 3 in a row. Phoenix has won 5 of 6, including wins over the Spurs and 2 against the Clippers, 1 in L.A. So now all of a sudden, Phoenix is in, if this was a soccer team, they're in good form right now.
Sure.
Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to ask you this for a long time. Do you think this could apply over here? You know, one of the things I've noticed with European sports, well, mainly soccer, they have the standings like we have. They call them the tables, but they have the standings. Okay, but then they also have the form table or form standings. And they rank the teams based on, because remember, over there you get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, 0 points for obviously a loss. They rank them over their last 5 games, how many points they've earned top to bottom. So you have the overall standings, but then you also have the form standings, which go over. I actually think that's kind of a helpful thing because, yeah, you might look at a Phoenix and go overall, but then if they're coming in, let's say Phoenix is coming in tonight and holy crap, now you can see they've won 4 in a row or whatever, but to see that they've won 3 of 5, or maybe it's a form table because there's 82 NBA games as opposed to whatever, 40-something. Maybe you do it over the last 10. But I do think it'll be interesting as the season goes on to see NBA teams ranked in their wins and losses over the last 10 to kind of help you prepare for what you're dealing with that night.
Yeah, you know, we changed things. Like for the longest time, it was always you just look at the entire or each division, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now I just look at the Western Conference standings.
That's how they've changed them even on the standings where they don't even do. I don't even know why.
They used to switch that like late in the year because this is where the playoffs.
Yes.
Why do we have divisions?
Why do
anymore?
we have divisions? So they have Denver tonight. Denver, I think, is favored. What are they?
Oh yeah. Have you done it yet?
I haven't.
Okay.
All right, let's go around. Kyle, have you looked at the odds for this game yet?
I have not.
Okay. Jason, go ahead. Or I'll, you know what? I never get to. I'll start, and then you guys can play off of that. I'm going to say Denver is favored. Well done. One of my favorite bets. Denver's favored by 9.5.
I had 8.5 in my head. I'll stick with that. Denver 8.5.
I'll go 9, right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Won't be 9.
It won't be 9.
Fine, then 9.5.
So you and I are at 9.5. Jason's at 8.5. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. We have a correct answer. Kyle Madsen. Kyle Ledbetter.
No, what'd you call him before?
That's
Nate Goodyear.
Kyle and me. High five. Jason's correct. 8.5. You and I were just off it.
I mean, let's look at a different place. I'm sure you can find 9.5.
Nope.
Not in my book.
Nope. Nobody knows. So when I've been saying this now for a while, Jason.
So they covered the last time they played.
They did.
Yeah.
I have Atlanta circled. I've had Atlanta circled. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to reveal any craziness, and I think we're already there, but this is really the game I've been looking at because you look at – I didn't expect them to beat Milwaukee, but Atlanta right now so far on this homestand, the Sacramento Kings are 1-2. Presumably, underlined, bold italics, they will be 1-3 after tonight if you believe the odds. And then they hit Atlanta. Atlanta comes in. By the way, they won in L.A. against the Clippers last night. Clippers aren't – if we had a form table, the Clippers aren't doing that well. Before the Kings go out and play at Minnesota, who just shellacked them, at San Antonio, who is right there with OKC at the top, and De'Aaron Fox is back, and I think is gone for 24 and 20-something his 2 games back, and he's going to want to win that game. Back to Oklahoma City. And then, okay, at Memphis, I think Memphis would probably be favored by 1.5, 2.5, but that's it. When I say gettable, I mean, I could see that happening. and then at Denver, and then home against Minnesota. And then you even have Phoenix. So, like, for me, we'll say it again. Jason, I firmly believe between Denver tonight and Minnesota, my guess is there's probably around 2 wins in there, and I can't explain what they are. And even if they lose to Denver and Atlanta tomorrow night, I'm not going to change that. There's going to be much like Milwaukee.
It's
we
the
know
way
that
the league works.
But, man, I feel like it's the last game of the road trip before they go out on the road and probably get knocked around like a pinball again. I feel like they got to beat Atlanta, man. It's like the first must-win of the year, and there's literally no reason to must-win it other than just spirit.
In my mind, like the way the league works, too, there's like schedule loss. Like Atlanta, to me, feels a little bit like a schedule loss.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it will be that way.
Right.
I feel like they might have a better chance tonight than tomorrow. I could be totally wrong.
You could be totally right because your schedule loss point is very valid.
Played them. You have a little. I mean, doesn't mean you know how to stop them. They just played Jokic. They should have a lot of the same intel. They did compete with them well.
Mm-hmm.
Can you correct what you didn't do right in that game? Yeah, I don't know.
It's just the way this crap is set up that arguably I would say the most winnable game of this homestand on paper would be Atlanta. And of course, that has to be 2 games within 24 hours. You know what else is stinky poo, R.I.P. Marty? Can we agree that of Minnesota, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Memphis, Denver, on paper, what would you say is the most winnable game there?
Memphis?
I agree 100%. It's their one back-to-back, and it's the second night of a back-to-back.
Of course. Now, on the other side, I don't know who has back-to-backs that they're playing.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Actually, let's see. Memphis, November 20th. Just honestly kind of curious. Memphis plays in San Antonio and then has a day off and comes home to start their 1-game homestand. Actually, this is weird. They go at San Antonio, home Sacramento, at Dallas, home Denver, and then go on a 4-game road trip, including Sacramento.
Yeah, what's weird about the teams in the Central or even like they bounce around. Like in the West, the Kings will have like home stands, road trips. I remember one time, kind of when you look at it from another team's perspective, I think it was Dallas one year. I'm looking, I'm like, home game at Detroit, then back home.
Yes.
Then they go to Memphis, then back home, Miami, back home. I'm like, I guess they can do. It's not terribly far. It just feels like when the Kings leave, they're gone unless it's something quick on the West Coast. But when they go east, they usually go for 4 to 6 games.
Yes, they do. All right, he's been on the text line. He's the only guy that gets on the text line. Is like, pick up the phone.
Oh, I know who it must
and
be.
I'm so glad I'm here with my let my fingers do the one. JR.
Oh, hi, JR.
Good morning.
What's up, you big purple idiot?
That's me. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Hey, Jay Russ, remember when we were on my yacht and we were at the bowling alley and we would just let the balls fall off the side like they're cannonballs?
Oh, we had the best of times.
Oh, I want to party with you, Leewell. Oh, that was some good times. And Kyle, thank you for your service. Happy Veterans Day. We appreciate everything you do.
So stupid.
No?
No, we laughed.
Yeah.
Okay. When do the Kings play Sacramento? That's a game I think we got to have.
Why don't they
I think we can beat them. Yeah, I'm telling you, that would be a must-win.
I think there'd be a good trade partner.
I think so. I think they should just do you want to give Doug all his praise. By the way, the only thing I ever blame Vlade for, Tunel 21 had the worst happy hour. I'm telling you right now, it was Euro trash.
You're stupid.
Total Euro trash. But, yeah, they need to play each other. I think that would be a good win. And, pretty scary road trip.
JR.
Thank God for Russ. Thank us for giving us a reason.
JR.
Yes, sir.
Question for you.
No.
After rescuing a stranded reindeer, 2 animal rehabilitators learn that it's one of Santa's flying reindeer must deliver it to the North Pole before Christmas. Along the way, they fall in love.
I did this already. Okay.
Is that a real or fake Hallmark movie?
Oh, fudge. I've seen them all, too. I just don't remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
Say Vixen, yeah, she was pretty bad. I'm going to say that's a true one.
That is a fake Hallmark movie. Turkey sausage, baby.
What a turkey.
What a turkey.
Turkey sausage.
We'll take a break. Well, win or lose, yay or nay, rebuild or title contender, I do know this. Golden One Center will be packed tonight. By the way, the Sacramento Kings tied for first place in the NBA at they'll never be tops in total attendance, but I believe their capacity of attendance, they're at 103.7 for the year. They're above 100% attendance, or at least sold. Kings fans always turning out. Kings fans always bringing energy, and I appreciate that from him. All of them. Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now American Energy Home Pro's been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. Before Kyle was even a thing, whatever it may be. And now they're doing plumbing, clogged shower, clogged sewer, clogged toilet, much, much more. All the things that you know and you need. Hey, man, it's a crapshoot looking for a plumber. It's also a crapshoot looking for somebody that's reputable that can work on your air conditioner or your furnace. And right now, a couple of specials for you. Free furnace with a full home installation. Also, 10% off any plumbing needs. And if you are a club member, that's 10% off of everything. Also, come on in, Alan. Also, they are your second opinion partner, which means if you're getting a bid on plumbing, if you're getting a bid on HVAC, let American Energy come out to your house for free, as Alan would say, and let them make their own bid. Let them save you money. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Give me that free again, Kyle, would you? Give me the Allen South. Thank you. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Alan is in for Crosstalk. Celebrity birthdays and more next.
Tonight, Kings and Nuggets.
Tip off at 8. Your exclusive home for Kings basketball.
Is Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Set it free! Welcome to the Running Man.
In the future, one man must run or die. Glenn Powell stars in The Running Man, the IMAX experience, playing at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento. Get pulled into the madness of the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen as the chaos unfolds. Reserve your seat before the clock runs out at IMAX.com/Sacramento. The Running Man, playing now through November 20th at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The holidays can be a time of increased stress for those struggling with opioid or stimulant addiction. They can also be a time for pause, reflection, opportunity, and new beginnings. This holiday season, choose treatment and recovery. Embrace the company of family and friends and create special moments. Find a proven opioid or stimulant addiction treatment provider near you at choosechangeca.org.
Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens for all the games. Premium game day bites and beverages for the premier game day experience. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
This 49ers Red Zone Report is being brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Shotgun snap. Jones under pressure, throws to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, 49ers! Juwan Jennings makes the grab in the end zone. Jones takes the snap, under pressure, time running out. He runs left side, he throws, complete, wide open, and into the end zone for the score! Touchdown, 49ers! Mac Jones diagnosing his options, looked right, then looked left, and then finds Luke Farrell for the touchdown.
Ready, set, win big. When the 49ers win, you score. With 49% off any large pizza, only at Mountain Mike's Pizza. Celebrate every game day with your favorites from our legendary crispy, curly pepperoni, bold sauced up wings, garlic butter drenched sides, and gooey sweet desserts, all hot, fresh, and built for a Niners victory. Download the Mountain Mike's app, join Mountain Rewards, and turn every Niners win into a pizza party. Let's go Niners! Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Alan Styles, everybody.
Alan Styles, everybody.
The Styles Files on Twitter. Follow him, as I do.
Yeah, you got bullied into that.
Let's see. Is Alan tweeted today? Let me look. Has Alan tweeted today?
He didn't go out for a run.
No video.
Did you delete a tweet?
No.
I thought I saw you on Twitter this morning.
Huh. Weird.
I thought I saw you on Twitter this morning.
Possibly I did.
Possibly what?
Well, here's the thing.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I am.
You are correct. I just didn't want people thinking
you were countermanding what I was.
Yeah, it's not that what I heard. I mean, what I had heard is what they've been saying this whole time, that they don't want to blow it up, that they want to see how this goes. So that, to me, I had that loaded up from last night. You know what I mean? So then I sent it out this morning, and then when you said what you said, they're going to tell people different things, but I just felt...
I think the funny thing is, too, and it's always hilarious how aggregation works, and, you know, we've been doing this a long time, but, you know, you've got Dunk Central and Evan Sittery.
Yeah,
and
you're
everybody.
You're everywhere.
And it's like, first off, there have been no quoted sources. There have been no Kings people familiar with the have told me. This is just exactly what this is no different than what we've been saying.
Well,
it's simply more.
It was the date.
I
think to me, it was the date. It was the December date.
Because December 15th is the first day they can trade. That's the only reason I threw a date out there. They can't make a trade before December 15th. So
on some players, correct?
I think. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure December 15th.
What, for anyone?
Yeah, I think.
I thought it was just for certain
for
extension
certain
guys.
Yeah. Certain guys become...
You could trade two
the
bums.
The pool
right?
is bigger at that point.
The kickoff of trade season is December 15th.
It makes more sense if you were looking to do it to have more options.
You could trade two bums right now.
Yeah, so you have December 15th as the kickoff and February as the deadline.
So I didn't want people thinking that we were... Well, I don't know that either of us were reporting anything, but I didn't want people saying, hey, two guys at the station reporting different things, because what I said was what they've been telling us the whole time. And to be fair, even if what you're saying is true,
it's true.
They're not going to
come out and have a press conference.
Well, they're not going to come out and say, "Hey, everybody's available." So
no, of course
what
not.
I'm hearing is also true.
Nor
they're
should
saying
they.
multiple things, but I wanted you to have your day.
Oh, here we go.
Every dog has.
No,
his
you
day.
take the day.
No, you take the day.
Here's what I tweeted. Starting in, as somebody said, are you hearing they're selling the core, just going in for a rebuild the right way, or are you just hoping it happens this way? I said, starting in December, as and if opportunities exist, they'll begin reshaping the roster with a focus on youth draft assets and cap room. If all goes well, the team you see now will not be the team in March and likely worse on the floor, but better for the future.
Extremely detailed.
And
that is extremely detailed.
But I also think it's also extremely, duh. Like, based on everything we've seen, heard.
Though.
Huh? Really?
But no, that's what I'm saying. Everything that I've heard is the two is either they're going to continue whatever this is and maybe buy deeper into it, or let the contracts die out in, what is it? We've been hearing 2027 this whole time.
Yeah.
So that's why when you brought up December, that was what raised my eyes and made me think, okay, maybe, what the status. I was more so refreshing the status quo and what other teams are being told.
With the caveat, like you say, like barring injury, before you say anything in the NFL, with the caveat of, I can't tell you how they're going to feel a year from now because I can't. They ain't adding to this. They're not adding to it. They're not. This isn't a They're in evaluation phase.
Is that a report or speculation?
That's speculation.
Look at me in my eyes and say it.
Speculation. All I'll say is this: we've been doing our best to provide the blueprint, to read the smoke signals, and to help guide the group since June, July, August, and we're continuing to do that. And ultimately, this isn't anything. I don't think this is anything groundbreaking. Your question.
So I'm looking at myself in the video. Chris Verlot, has he been messing with me? Because he always makes me move to my left.
Yes. You're perfectly centered.
Now
this is a
center
free shot.
in the center.
Yeah.
But he always makes me go all the way over here.
Well, now you're in Jason's shot.
No, I wasn't.
No, you were then.
He makes me go all the way over here. That's it.
Angry texter is angry because he says I've been ignoring the text line.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I'm ignored, but not JR.
I never ignore you.
And then he says, all good, I get it, but I'm not good enough. Needy texter wants to be heard. But you didn't really say anything.
Oh, I see now.
Yeah.
I see. I'm in Jason's way.
See that? Yeah.
Yeah, so what an eventful morning. Dave is broken
nothing.
A lot of news.
Literally
a lot
broken
of news.
Absolutely nothing.
Legion hoops.
Broken. Go ahead. Celebrity birthdays. Broken nothing.
NBA Central.
It's so funny how we've said versions of this a billion times. This is just more forceful. And it's like, they're reporting. Well, they're not reporting. We're just continuing the same conversation. So,
broken like a leg.
You know what? You're welcome.
I am very thankful.
4 hours, baby.
I am very thankful for Carmichael Dave.
No!
Maybe I'll take him to the Kimpton Sawyer.
Okay, well, I'm hey.
I don't know why his sensual voice is Stephen A. Smith.
Me or Alan?
Both.
Yeah. Okay. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Hey, if I'm ever hanging out at the Kimpton Sawyer with Alan looking into his dreamy eyes, I know that much like in Lady and the Tramp, we will share a Crumble Cookie and stare into each other's souls. Celebrity birthdays.
That's what happens in that movie.
That's right. Back
On
to you.
this day, the movie Santa Claus came out.
Oh.
1998.
These are always older. I'm going to say 95.
96.
Alan's closest, 1994.
Always.
Michael Jackson's Black or White came out on
your
this
favorite.
day.
That would be 1993.
Which one is it?
It doesn't matter. If it's
Always
black or
older.
white.
He said 93? 94.
90.
Kyle's closest, 91.
Always older.
Sorry, my sister's FaceTiming me right now.
Oh, okay.
She just
Happy
hung up.
birthday to Leonardo DiCaprio.
48.
There's a joke there, but I'm going to leave it alone. 49.
51.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Kyle Ledbetter.
Wow.
Happy birthday to Demi Moore.
Oh, yeah. Charlie's Angels?
Demi Moore is 63.
Demi Moore. 65.
Not Demi less.
62.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Carmichael Dave.
And that's how we end the program. No need for a preview. Alan Stiles has got you covered. Next.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock.